Welcome to We Are Live.
You had a Trumpy Bear snout in your shot.
Oh, was it really? Ah! Oh, like he got to put his fist up too. Chompy Bear woke today, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
What's he fighting the power of?
Less honey in the woods.
Mm.
There we go.
That's a good picture.
Solidarity on his beautiful MLK Day. Welcome. Say something. You're allowed to.
I was giving you the floor.
Happy MLK Day! What? Beautiful day, too.
Yeah. Hazy gray with flurries.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. It's Chris Dem and Travis Terrell. We're excited to be here. It is MLK Day, so all of you can prepare your favorite quotes.
Yeah, I know I'm going there today.
You'll jump in?
Oh, yeah, boy. This is going to be the day, boy. Y'all thought I was woke before. I'm about to wake all y'all asses up today, boy. It's going to be very progressive, a very woke episode of We Are Live today. We waking everybody up.
Just like MLK, I would like to speak out about the advantages of tech electronics.
Okay.
They've helped us outfit our studio. They can help you get a new job in the tech field. They can help with emergency systems. They're right here in St. Louis, and they've got 8 other locations throughout the Midwest, over in Denver, too. TechElectronics.com for more information. Let's say hello to the MLK supporter, Mr. Chris Gardner. Hello.
Hey, Gardy.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Whoop, whoop.
Good morning, walnuts.
Yeah, put them woke nuts on the wall.
Woke nuts.
Chris, put it up.
Do we have to?
Am I allowed
I guess
to
we'll
do it?
just keep doing
Come on,
it.
yeah, just do it.
So we
Yeah,
do
it's not bad.
whatever.
Hey, just like the Germans.
I can say Happy MLK Day, right?
Yes. I said Gardner could say it this morning as long as he doesn't finish it with his normal N words.
My players.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. So, Happy MLK Day.
There you go.
You know, he had a dream.
He did.
MLK did. I've been having weird dreams lately.
Oh, sweet
Boy, nothing. Will you make like a 3-paragraph synopsis of it and put it on your Facebook?
No,
I love when people do that.
I will not. I had a dream about Eric Greitens the other night.
Why?
I don't know.
Are you doing push-ups?
No, I had I was considered a reporter, I guess.
Jesus.
And he gave me like an exclusive to where I get to interview him, but I have to spend the day with him. And we went to a frozen custard stand together. And we're standing in line, and then as we get closer to the window, no, it was like more of a mom and pop one. And he starts making a scene talking about how terrible their custard is. And then I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And then we get to the window, and the lady who's the owner, apparently he had an investment in the frozen custard stand and wasn't happy. And she was like in tears because he kept yelling about it and everything. And she finally said, oh, we'll just give you your $15,000 back if you'll leave us alone. And I'm like, oh, what's that? And then the other day, apparently I was so sad in my dream that I was crying.
Like in real life?
I woke up and
We
I
need to
had
get that
tears
looked
down
at.
my
Man,
face.
okay, now that is.
I don't remember crying physically from a dream before.
I'll be completely honest. I didn't know it was physically possible.
Neither did I. But I woke up and I had tears on my cheeks.
Man, geez. We may need to sit down for a minute.
So, I know MLK had a dream. I don't know if I want dreams anymore.
Well, you're a
I liked it when I didn't remember them.
Oh, boy.
You don't need to turn to the alcohol to make the dreams go away.
No, I'm going to try some edibles.
No.
Just work with Travis for a while. All your dreams will go away. It was there. Sorry.
Pretty good.
That's what we used to say about 34 Club, R.I.P. 34 Club, where dreams go to die. And it was wonderful.
And then it died itself.
It died itself.
And then, yep.
Thank you.
How was everybody's weekend? We had a big weekend of football. Travis, your favorite fighter, fought. You saw all kinds of things happen. Bad Boys Forever
It's for
launched.
life. You didn't got to be completely racist about it.
Oh,
It's forever in my heart.
Okay.
nice.
That's a good recovery.
So, how are we feeling? What was the best of the weekend for you?
There was a lot going on this weekend. I did check out Bad Boys for Life. We'll do a trivia.
Did
this
you really?
week. I did, and it was. I'll give you my review. I think tomorrow, Garzi.
Yeah, that's the plan.
So I did check that out. Of course, there was the NFL Championship Sunday, and we were able to witness the Kansas City Chiefs move on to Miami, where they will face the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl Live.
Live?
Live. Yeah, LIV is the Roman numerals for this year's Super
I
Bowl.
was too embarrassed that I kept thinking that. I was going to tweet something out to be like, "Hey, live," but I was like, no, I actually keep reading it like live. Like I'm not making I'm not doing,
It's troubling.
my brain isn't separating the two.
Yeah, that's
I'm just
scary.
still just
Do you
like,
do
why
like
do they
a-
keep doing live every
A
time?
before and after in your mind, like Super Bowl Live Tyler, or something
Liv
like
Tyler's always on my mind.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
that. We'll
but-
call it Super Bowl Live Tyler now.
Mm.
Saw Ben Hockman tweet that out last night.
Live Tyler?
Yep.
Oh,
he
I
said
didn't even
Super
see
Bowl
that.
Liv Tyler. Yeah.
I
I'm a fan of it.
there's a reason why.
So they paid the big bucks to St. Louis Post is better.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really fun weekend. Tough start though to the weekend with the Billikens losing on is that a buzzer beater?
In
Last second
overtime.
shot in overtime to
Yeah.
a very good Dayton team. That was a competitive basketball.
I was
game.
at that game.
Uh,
That
Fun
was
one to be at.
disappointing.
yeah, it was. That was rocking. The bad boy was jumping out the gym, and it was a fun, exciting game.
Great atmosphere.
Great atmosphere. Got to hit the free throws, Chris. Gotta hit your free
Just like
throws,
that.
kid. Just like gotta hit your free throws. Let me know, Billikens, if you need a boy to come down here, show you a few things or two at the free throw line. I can't show you anything else on the basketball court, but I can.
Are you a good free throw shooter?
Oh.
So no. I think Tommy could hit more free throws than you.
Okay, you ain't gotta insult me on MLK Day like that. That is rude. You know
That's fair.
damn
There's
well.
gonna be a lot of that
Tommy
today.
can't even pick up a basketball, let
On
alone shoot
MLK
one.
Day,
That's cold blooded. On MLK Day,
my gas runs out in my car on MLK Day.
What's the Jack Donaghy quote from 30 Rock? He's talking about his mother, who's played by Elaine Stritch. She's Colleen Donaghy, and it's MLK Day or something. He goes, or as my mother calls it, the day in January when the post office is closed. It's like, oh, Jesus.
oh, man, yeah, it was a pretty low key weekend. It's gotten pretty nippler in St. Louis. It is biting today. I think the high today, Chris, will be 21, if we're lucky.
Not
Wind
feeling
chill
that.
says we're around 8 degrees. Does
Right now?
does not feel good.
Not good smoking weather.
No, it's not. It's not good.
Sorry
a lot of
about
weather.
Yeah. I had a busy weekend.
Did you now?
Let's see. Friday night was Billikens game, as we just talked about. Saturday night, I played in a charity trivia event at the Pageant, which is an
Ooh.
interesting venue.
How was that?
That's
That
a
was
pretty cool
fun.
place to have
It was great.
an event.
Because they have a gigantic screen on the
Yeah.
stage and
Yeah, it's
everything.
pretty
Was it a big
serious.
crowd?
Yeah, 30 tables or so.
Oh, it's a pretty big crowd.
It was fun. It was
Nice.
for St. Louis Police North Patrol and Business District. But I was showing the friends that I was playing with we went down a rabbit hole, and I shouldn't have
boy.
done this to them. The instructional videos for slow pitch softball that Michael Bolton put out some years ago, and we could not stop watching them.
There's a lot
the
going
event.
on with that. Yeah.
Yeah, we had even decided that a podcast needs to be done about this phenomenon,
Sure.
that it actually exists and people aren't aware of it. And it would be great if Michael Bolton could be involved with a commentary of in some way.
Like you do, like what do you call it? Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah,
Style.
but have Michael Bolton there with you breaking down certain things. Because there's even like a video of them playing MLB Legends, and the team that they're playing against is a better softball team than Mr. Burns had on The Simpsons.
The best, one of the better episodes.
They
of all
got
time.
Griffey, Bonds, Ozzy. I think Royce Clayton makes an
Of
appearance
course,
in one of
Royce
these.
Clayton makes an
Why
appearance.
is he always getting to
He
work
just
his way
randomly
in?
pops up in things.
Matt Williams. I mean, so it's like take a look at those if you haven't seen them. They're just fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really into slow pitch softball.
That's so strange and hilarious.
And who does he hit a home run off of? Like Brett Saberhagen or something is on the mound.
The Royal turned Colorado Rocky.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Well, Travis and I are going to look into these again a little bit later.
I think that'll go over well.
But that was Saturday night, and then that bled into Chris Davis's going away party.
How was that?
It's a good time.
Very nice.
Yeah, good guy. I was laughing. I went early, and I was. I'm not saying anything out of school here. He's a news guy, so there's a lot of news people around. And I was laughing. I was like, I wonder what people would do if you just started live streaming it. Like if all the news personalities who have real things to lose, if just because the public's ridiculous, if you just started live streaming, like how many people would just freak out, be like, do you put that down? That's all I could think of. But it's very nice seeing Chris and his element, having a good time, and a lot of fun people out to support him.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I went a little later because of the trivia stuff, and I talked to Abby Larico for a little bit. She was telling me how she was with Rennie, and they saw me waiting for a bus one day in the neighborhood. She's like, "Yeah, we saw you like at a bus stop or something." Yeah, take the bus.
Are you proud to tell people that,
I'm,
or is it weird?
no,
Okay.
mass
live in
transit.
You
It's a
literally
city.
live in the Central West End. You live less than 5 blocks away from here. Taking the bus is probably the most intelligent, most convenient thing you could probably do.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Why waste gas getting into that stupid ass traffic off Lindell anyway? Hopping on that bad boy going
Wait
just
till it
4 or
gets
5
nice
blocks.
though. That's why I got the scoots.
That's why I got the scoots.
Scoot-bacula.
It's gonna be back in full effect just soon enough, my friend.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Just soon enough.
So I talked to Abby. I saw Hannah, and talked to her for a little bit.
Hannah Ray Yates?
Yeah.
Oh, how about that? How's she
I can't
doing?
believe it's been 3. She said it's been 3 months. She's been at Channel 5 already, and I'm like, it's been 3 months.
I didn't even know she was at Channel 5.
Yeah.
I'm out of the loop.
Yeah,
What is she doing over at Channel 5?
she's sports
I didn't realize that.
sports reporter.
Man, I have been out of the loop. I was not aware of that. Good for
Yeah,
her.
It's been 3 months. She's been there.
What she
now.
do the weekends or what's
I
her
don't know how they-
responsibility, her assignment?
Just like anchors sports
Good
stuff.
for her. I didn't
reports on
realize
sports
that.
Stuff.
That's
yeah.
a huge get for someone to get into the market that quick.
So
Good for her. I didn't realize that. Man, that's what I get for not being on the socials.
Yeah, she's doing that, and I talked to her for a little while. I was telling her about my new cast iron skillet that
Of
I'm
course,
excited
of
to
course,
use.
of course. Why wouldn't
I
you?
told a few people about that, and then I went over and talked to Casey Nolan.
The great Casey Nolan.
Ah, the great Casey Nolan. That is a man, and he is going to have a year ahead of him. This is an election season. Oh, man, this is where
Yeah.
Casey Nolan shines, baby. This is where we're going to get some Kano. I'm going to call him Kano.
Kano.
Tell him I'm going to call him Kano.
So I went over to him. I go, Casey, I got to ask you a question and maybe a favor. He's like, okay. I go, what do I need to do
Mm-hmm.
to get Frank Cusimano
Oh,
to have
boy.
his next Frank's Food Picks
Oh, jeez.
with some edibles
Oh, boy.
at the Collinsville dispensary?
Okay.
Casey paused and looked at me and started laughing really hard. And I'm paraphrasing here. And his response was, "That's fucking genius."
Okay.
I hope he's okay with me saying that. I've planted the seed elsewhere.
Good.
Spore.
within the
Because it'll make its
KSDK
way around the
community.
general news editor. They'll get around
Yeah.
to pushing it.
That's
to
all I
Frank.
wanted to do.
It's,
and
once it shows up in the newsroom, then it can definitely go down.
then
Yep.
maybe eventually we'll get to this Frank's Food Picks,
That's amazing.
where he's doing edibles over at the Collinsville dispensary. So I'm hoping to get that going still. So I gave that
Your
another
life's work.
another nudge this weekend.
A part of me would love that, but there is no way in hell the uber Christian conservative Frank Cusimano takes a bite out of anyone's edible.
We'll see.
I think it was sacrament. Even if they were offering that
Well,
at church, he wouldn't touch it.
What if you found out weed is God?
Oh,
Now it's a whole nother ball game, baby.
no, that's something.
That's hilarious. That is a good time. I'll tell you what, those folks at KSDK, they can have a good time. Was my boy Art Holiday in the house?
I didn't see Art while I was there.
Former mentor, hero of mine, Art
You
Holiday.
guys still talk a lot?
We don't.
I didn't mean to put you on blast like
I
that.
got introduced to Morgan Young, a
Okay.
reporter over there.
Was
She's very
Anthony
nice.
Slaughter in the building?
I didn't see
Didn't see
I
him.
him.
didn't see Anthony Slaughter. He's got kids though.
Um,
What about my the legend Mike Bush? Was he in he
Mike
make an
Bush
appearance?
was there.
I saw
I
him
love
there.
Mike. Every time Mike
He
goes
was the
to one
one
of
I
those things, he always wears a performance fleece, jeans, and Crocs. And I was like, you're a man who was very confident in his standing and status in this city because you frequently go out in a performance fleece, jeans, and Crocs.
Yeah, do what you want.
Do what you want.
He was the one that I was looking at like, don't let anybody take a weird picture of you tonight, sir.
Yeah,
I don't,
Mike
I don't want to have
Bush
to read
is a guy who's
a bunch
very,
of dumb people would send in emails about him.
he's a guy that's very conscious of how he's perceived in the public when he's out. Like you can kind of tell that he's a guy that he kind of like, to your point, is a person like
He's just
someone's
aware.
across the room. Yeah, there's someone's across the room's got a camera on him that's just waiting for him to do something where they can go viral and talk about it with Caesar and the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. I feel like he just, and I don't blame him because I would imagine.
I don't sure it would be Caesar in this case.
Well, yeah, but I would. But this is not a knock against him. It's just something when I've seen him out in public, he's just very like, "Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Bush. It's good to see you all. All right, it's time for me to go because someone just wants to catch me with a beer in my hand." It's like almost Dorothy Light is sitting on his right shoulder every time he goes out of the house.
That's good.
I wonder if most personalities are like that, especially in this time.
Are you like that? I mean, we should ask you that.
God,
question.
no.
Thank
I think
you.
It's pretty
As
clear.
an international screenwriter.
Only
and
time I'm
star.
like that is when people yell at Blackfish when I'm at hockey games. Yo, Blackfish!
Yeah. Then what do you do?
I just look around in amazement. And sometimes I go, hey!
Hey,
I'll just say, hey! But guys, today's an important day
why is that?
because it is MLK Day. I want you guys, and this is also your space as well, because this is all about bringing us together as a family, as a country, as a community. And I would imagine, because he's meant so much to your lives, that you guys have a particular MLK quote or a moment that you would like to share, or a time where you realize that, you know, I'm going to stand up for my brother. I'm going to stand up for my sister. Well, you guys, this is the floor for you to express to everybody who watches this show just how in tune you are with Dr. King's message and what he stood for. Chris, of course, growing up in the very diverse town of Farmington, Missouri, I would imagine you have some stories about being how Dr. King, I'm certain, played a role in your life. Would you care to share?
Yeah, definitely. He confused me as a child, thinking I was like, wait a second, doesn't this start in February?
Oh boy, he wasn't sure which day it started. Oh, he
Yeah.
got his
I'd be like,
holidays
January.
confused.
You told me February
Oh
was their month.
no! Oh boy, that's okay. All right, that was one. That was not bad. That was decent. All right, Gardner, what do you got?
And what are you looking for?
I'm looking for something. Give me something that MLK did for you, perhaps growing up. Maybe there's a particular quote.
Oh, did for me?
Yeah, or
Are schools off today?
Work's off because roads were empty.
yes.
Okay.
Anything else before the holiday, perhaps? That's something about that Dr.
So you're
King
looking for
did.
a quote?
Maybe a quote.
Let's see. Darkness, the darkness one.
I believe in a thing called love.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that.
Ooh, there we go. All right.
And
Hate cannot drive out hate.
yeah,
Only love can do that.
yeah. So let's go with that one.
All right.
When you
Darkness
gonna start
cannot
loving people,
drive
Gardner?
out darkness, and we learned that from White Flight too.
Yeah, but that's also true.
Yeah,
Darkness can drive out
Darkness can
white
drive out whiteness.
residents.
yeah.
Okay.
And so if he would have replaced light with white, only white can do that. Then
Only-
yes,
Then
then
whiteness can push out darkness
yeah, we
with-
could have extended that.
with gentrification.
Yeah.
So that's I guess whites took that too literal.
Yeah. What were MLK's thoughts on HOAs? Do you have any quotes on that?
One can't have a respectable community if your trash is out a day early before it's so supposed to be picked up.
Uh-huh.
Why are you parking your car on the street when we have sat up here and gone to the mountaintop to tell you all to park on your driveways?
Preach.
Are you doing MLK or Obama?
I'm doing a combination of both, to be honest with you.
You wearing
Thank
a
you for
Muhammad
being
Ali
honest.
shirt today, too?
I do have my Muhammad Ali shirt
He was a
on
radical.
today. He was a radical. He's beloved
radical
by
jab.
conservative sports personalities.
Muhammad
They
Ali?
absolutely hate Colin Kaepernick. Gardner and I were joking about this. We were talking about certain personalities that segments of society now love, who would absolutely obliterate them if
Well,
they were
you always
alive
hear
today.
like people say like if MLK were around today, like the people that there would be a decent percentage that celebrate that would have completely disliked him back in the day or
Yeah.
whatever.
Only reason why conservatives like MLK now is because he's dead.
No,
If MLK was alive, conservatives would absolutely dope.
because then I would.
You see, look, they basically take everything they've said about Bernie Sanders, and they would have applied that to MLK.
Because I was kind of extrapolating it out. I was going to like the evangelical route.
Right.
Because I was like if Jesus Christ was around today, evangelicals would hate Jesus Christ. They would absolutely despise him.
It's
It's funny what people say and how they actually
it's
act.
very true. I'd be very curious, and it's truly fascinating. It's amazing how it works, but I would be very curious as to how the media will receive Dr. King, and I'd also be very curious how Dr. King would handle some of the social issues that currently take place today. We kind of get a general sense from his children who speak frequently, especially his eldest daughter, who talks about again how her father probably would have been out in front with police brutality and justice reform, and still would have been pushing, obviously, trying to help the poor. And I would imagine he would have been probably down there in the concentration camps down around Mexico with the children being locked up. Like, you would like to think that that's where Dr. King would be. Until to that point, I would find it very difficult to think that most people who claim to be conservative would love him as much or respect him or quote him as much as they quote him now. The only reason why Dr. King
Like Mike
is
Pence.
spoken in reverence, right? I think the only reason why, certain Republicans and conservatives are speaking in reverence of Dr. King is because he's dead. If he was alive, yeah, Laura Ingraham would rip him a new one every other day. There's no doubt in my mind.
I think that time's a weird thing, and everything gets turned on its head. I think that there would be a fair amount of people on the left that would have a weird thing with him too.
I would imagine so.
And I say that because of the Christianity.
Yeah,
side
because of the
things,
religious
yeah.
background, I would imagine. I think there may even be some blacks who would have been very. I don't know. I wouldn't say that Dr.
Time's
King would have
just
been
a
a
weird
moderate.
thing.
I don't think he would. I don't think he would have been a moderate. But at the same time, he does have the pastoral Christian
Yeah,
background growing up in the church.
that's what it
so-
would have lent himself to being something of a moderate.
Right.
Would have
Right.
been that.
So I don't know, but I think it is important. I know we joke from time to time about this day, but most importantly, I do hope people do take the time to not just pick and choose which MLK quotes. Read the totality of the man, and I know it's very convenient for a segment of
I
society.
picked and choose, Travis.
That's fair. But Dr. King, yeah, I would hope everybody takes the time today, at least, to show your respect and
It's a day of
appreciation.
service. What are you gonna do?
That's a good question. Actually, I just texted some friends on what's the game plan for that, since everyone apparently seems to be off today. And so we may get together, may head on down to the food pantry. But we'll see what they
Ooh.
want to do. Once,
Which one? Is there one in particular, or is someone? I guess
Are
someone.
you
who's
trying to get a
planning
free
it?
soup?
No, well, I mean, I'll take it.
You got a special coat you put on you.
know
Nobody,
what's going
nobody
on?
asks any questions when I put this
Real
on.
quick, there was a women's march going on over the weekend,
Mhm.
and the only reason I knew is
Oh,
because
boy.
I was taking the bus down here on Saturday morning, and about 12 SLU students get on at one of the stops with their signs and everything. And there's one gentleman
Oh boy.
who decides to start talking
Oh,
and ask
boy.
questions,
Oh no.
and I'm like, God damn it.
Oh no.
Hey,
He's
real
like,
life.
Where are you ladies heading? I'm like, oh, we're going to a women's march downtown. Oh. And then he starts reading the signs, and he's like, oh, you make a man feel bad, huh? And I'm like, God,
Oh
sir,
dear.
could you
Yeah.
please just...
Oh,
hey,
in my
welcome
head,
to
I'm
real
just
life.
like,
Oh boy.
please.
What color was this gentleman? Black, because
I
you won't say.
I won't do that on MLK Day. It's a good question, but I won't answer that question on MLK Day.
I never forget.
That's for you,
Gardner.
Travis.
Thanks, Gardner.
Gardner never has claimed to be fair or accurate or anything else. Go ahead. Oh, this makes me.
I'm
so,
honest. That's the
this
only
makes
thing I
me
can be.
so happy. This because it's a Curb Your Enthusiasm
Well,
episode.
and then-
It really is.
And then
It's
the
like
guy's
this is
like,
real life,
and they're
this is
just
what happens.
explaining to him,
Of
like,
course.
like, hey, no, we're just going out for this and this. He's like, oh,
SLU students white.
every single one of them.
Ain't no doubt
Every
about
single
that.
one of them.
Got your protesting Lululemon pants on, huh?
Yeah. So I'm
If
trying to.
by the way, they were smart. They would make those.
You know what I'm trying to do?
Hey,
I'm trying to do
it's business.
and people know, especially, this is not exclusive to public transportation, but it's a good public transportation move, is the stare out the window look with
Yeah.
hopefully nothing on your
That
face.
is-
Yeah, whether
that
it's
is the
SLU
best
students
lesson.
meeting
Yeah.
the general population of the city
I'm
they
just
don't
like,
explore,
I-
or
it's especially one of those moments where I'm like, I want nothing to do with any
Yeah.
of this. Like,
Was
not
there-
a single thing.
was there a resolve?
We're
Oh.
getting there.
Oh no!
Oh,
and
wow.
so,
Not over with.
but then the guy,
I thought you
guy's
just
like,
trail off.
no, he said something like, man, you know, some good guys out there, you know. And I'm like, I'm like, you're not even making sense in my head. And he's like, I'm reading the sign, you don't have to be so mean about it. And I'm like, no.
no, bro.
In my head, I'm screaming.
All right,
That's
Gardner,
amazing.
how
Bus
about it?
driver,
It's very clear who this
bus
chick-
driver's a woman.
Oh no, black woman.
Yes.
Oh no.
And I'll tell you what,
Did she jump
thank
in?
God for that.
What she jump in? She jumped. Black women
she
bus driver.
jumped in.
Black
She
woman
played.
bus driver is the truth. What
She
she
jumped
said?
in and was making everyone laugh.
What she said?
She was like, "Man, you might want to be shutting up back there with all these women on this bus."
That's
He's like,
hilarious.
"No one cares what you got to say."
That's right.
And just laid into him, and everyone just started laughing. Then, and it was good.
Good.
So
brought
thank
some-
God that was the
Black women
situation.
are magical. They saved
That-
the day again.
I'll tell.
They saved the day again, man. They know the situation. Like they can look. That's why I think Kamala Harris will probably end up being Secretary of State. They know how to resolve situations.
Trump gonna hire her?
Oh, he ain't gonna
They
win.
ain't gonna win, bro. I'll say this on MLK
Keep
Day
leaning
in
on
front of
that all
Trumpy
you
Bear.
want.
I'll say this to Trumpy Bear face. You ain't winning this year, man.
Smack
If
that
anything,
bear. Smack it.
I don't mean
That's
that.
a federal offense.
I know he said nonviolence.
He probably-
Dr. King said nonviolence, but
Yeah,
today,
Be careful. There probably was some kind of backdoor law made that says if you attack Trump,
you know what?
that's
You
a
probably
federal
right.
offense.
Probably right.
Technically, you just smacked the American flag too.
Yeah,
Nah,
right.
that's a good
Made
one.
in Malaysia. I don't know that.
Oh man, that's good time. That's very good.
That's a great story, Gardner.
That is phenomenal. That is outstanding.
I just wanted to. I'm like, how many more steps do I have? Okay, we can do this. Oh, red light! God damn it!
That's all right.
We've
That's
got
outstanding.
we've got some comments. Big Mike, much love to
Big
Big
Mike.
my man. MLK taught me what boulevards I'm not really welcome to be driving down.
That's fair. That's fair.
We
That's
all take our own
reasonable.
lessons. Black Sheep, Rotten Tomatoes would have given him a 99%, even if his CGI sucked.
You know what? I can see that. I can definitely see that. Wait, is that attacking Black Panther? Hold on. That is rude. That is rude. That is rude. That is rude. That is rude.
Was it rude?
It was rude.
On all days. Other things this weekend, Travis, you were super impressed with the big UFC event. I know you had you put a lot of money down. You and Dan Bilzerian put down $1 million for Donald Cerrone to win, as
Who's
he was
Donald Cerrone?
that was Cowboy Cerrone. Dan Bilzerian, did you see this? So Donald Cerrone fought Conor McGregor over the weekend. Was a huge underdog. It's MMA, so some crazy things can happen. And
Put a
your
bunch of
your
money in on
hero.
Cowboy.
There's a video of him putting $1 million in cash down on
Who's
Cerrone. to
Dan
upset-
Blazarian?
Is that the guy with the Instagram account with all the models on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's
He's the guy who's sometimes
he's a trust
from time
fund
to time.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know his origins
Whatever
for his
he
funds.
is, he's like a living Maxim magazine.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like he's rich.
He's the
and
guy,
he's-
like, you know how we talk about how,
he's
like,
got a
oh, if
pro
I had this
wrestling
money, this is
character.
how the lot. Yeah. Like,
It's if a testosterone-filled 16-year-old won the lottery and was allowed to do whatever they thought that men did.
yeah,
He's got
that's per-
machine guns
perfect way to
and
describe
boats
it.
and
Yeah.
women and hangs out with cool people, and I think he plays professional poker. Maybe
He's literally a modern day Bond villain with an Instagram account.
Yeah, I don't know that he's actually a bad guy.
I
Or
don't know. Yeah,
anything.
but I'm just
I-
saying.
I don't
he's
know.
He's
sure
always
sounds
surrounded
like it.
by hot women,
He's made some
guns
careers
on
for
yachts.
women. I'll say that.
Is he really?
Well, I mean, yeah, he'll feature these women and then they go off and they're
They
like,
become models and
Yeah,
really?
yes.
Good God.
so whatever it is. Either way, you were really impressed with Cerrone's performance, right? Cowboy lasted all of 40 seconds. Woo! Woo! Connor's
First of
back.
I hate that we get to say that Connor's back. First of all,
It was brutal.
we knew Cowboy was food going into this fight. We knew damn well
Amateur
Cowboy
drinker.
was food. I love the title, professional fighter, amateur drinker. Was it you, Gardner, who said that the guy at the bar put up a better fight than Cowboy?
Oh, that was somebody's tweet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, somebody, the
Which
old
they
man
were-
at the bar.
Old man at the bar put up a better fight. Yeah, I mean, sure. I guess I didn't know too many people gave Cowboy a realistic chance.
Vegas didn't.
So yeah, so I think it went the way that I thought it was going to go. I thought everybody in the arena thought it went. I don't think people ever questioned Connor's ability in the octagon. I think he got his
Conor-
ass kicked by a better fighter in a weekend, and that is going to happen. But I don't think anybody, even his detractors, even his haters, were like, "This guy's washed. This guy doesn't
People
have it
weren't
anymore."
sure what to expect because he made $1 jillion fighting Floyd Mayweather.
And he was out. And he was
very
gone for a long
obviously-
time.
Was very obviously caught up in the lifestyle.
Sure.
And I'm not saying it, but his behavior would exhibit somebody who's doing a lot of cocaine. And the Proper 12 thing, there's sexual assault allegations. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on with him. So I think people weren't really sure what to expect. I did, however, see Tony Robbins in the octagon with McGregor post-fight, which that was interesting.
Who?
I thought that was Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins,
Wow.
the motivational speaker, the giant motivational speaker.
Oh wow.
The guy with giganticism, who's the most popular motivational speaker of all time.
Yeah, I was just making sure I heard you.
No, I
right.
know, and I was like, is that what? Because he looks like he could just be one of those old Vegas security guys, that come into the octagon, all that stuff. But yeah, so I don't know. Is it you saw more celebrities tweet? LeBron James tweeted Conor McGregor. You had Matthew McConaughey was there, and although he was promoting a movie, but you see all these huge celebrities, and it just kind of shows. Sometimes whenever you've got a name, it's kind of a rising for all.
I don't think it was ever, like I said, I don't think anybody ever questioned whether he was a phenom, whether he was a great talent, when he was one of the best fighters in the game. People just have a problem with that man steps out of the octagon, he becomes the world's biggest asshole. That's just fact.
In the last year and a half, he did after the Floyd stuff, for sure.
With the throwing the shit against the bus and the sexual assault allegations and punching the guy in the back of the head at the bar. It just
Nasty.
I think we've seen it before in boxing before, how guys who are incredibly talented, who do things outside of the ring that people turn a blind eye to. But Conor McGregor, again, never was an issue with his ability. It's more of him being the guy outside of the ring, and I think ultimately he'll be smart to basically keep his shit together into the Khabib rematch. Now, obviously, I would imagine if they do a Khabib, I would love to see that bad boy. And
Jorge Masvidal
man, you got to get that in
walking
my
around in a robe, and he was the far and away second biggest star of the weekend, and it would be really funny or fun to see those two go.
I think
after each
I
other.
think
He's a
that
star.
I wouldn't mind
He's
that
huge
fight
now.
either. I don't think a lot of people would mind that fight either, but I think it looks like, Dana realizes what the big box office is going to be in 2020, and
pushing
he's going to
Khabib.
push Khabib. And if he was smart before we ultimately issue sanctions by President Andrew Yang, they should probably set this bad boy up in Moscow so we can go ahead and get Khabib and Conor in Moscow.
Have 1 million people attend a fight.
Look, put that bad boy in Red Square. Hello, hello.
Yeah, but
you don't
whenever
think Putin would
whenever Conor, if he wins and then
yeah,
mysteriously passes out
Like,
on the way
Conor,
back.
I don't know where his flight went.
Yeah.
I don't know how he. I
So
don't.
strange. Lost it over Asian airspace. What?
You know what? I would love to see this. I would love to see that fight come together. I think that would be box office. That would be a situation where that would be a phenomenal sporting event. But it
Khabib's
looks
gotta-
like I think Dana knows. Like, hey, look, UFC has. I won't sit up here and say they've missed their financial projections, but not having Conor for an entire year, certainly I'm sure brought their overall yearly box office down, maybe just slightly, if not a ton. So here's a great opportunity for Dana White and the UFC to, again, put their stamp on the culture and back on the sports map by having this huge rematch, which I believe, I think the likelihood of it happening is roughly around 70-75%.
What do you think of LeBron tweeting, "The King is back"?
The King is back. The man is the best in the octagon. I don't think anybody ever questioned that. There was never a question of who was the best in the octagon. That was not ever a question.
was
All his
so
haters were
nasty.
never like, he's slow, he's missing power, and no one ever said that. Everyone was saying Conor McGregor's an asshole outside of the octagon. Fact.
What did you call him?
Amateur drinker.
Amateur drinker.
Professional fighter, amateur drinker.
Punching old men at the bar who
That was
don't drink
horrific.
your.
It was horrific.
It was dumb. So that's why people didn't
He
like
said
Conor.
he said he was drinking like days before that Khabib fight, and then he was on his, just losing it. He said his last 4 months he's been sober. He was polite. There's a really cool picture of him hugging Cerrone's grandma in the cage after the fight.
But I get that. That's kind of, isn't that the bless your heart's itch? Not to say
this one was
I
different.
do believe he respects Cowboy. I do believe that. I sincerely believe that. However,
The niceness
he also
could
knows
be-
he's 20 times better than Cowboy, and he can whoop Cowboy's
Cowboy's
ass
a top
if he.
10 fighter, bro.
Yeah, Cowboy's like what, 37?
Connor's 31. I mean,
That's a
Cowboy's
pretty
a-
decent
listen,
gap
listen.
for a fighter, especially for a guy like Cowboy. How many fights Cowboy had
He
last
has
year?
the most-
5.
He always does that.
No.
He has the most wins in UFC history. He's got 1 million knockouts. Listen, he could have crushed McGregor, caught him with a kick, but it didn't happen at all. So either way, congrats to your boy, man. On MLK Day, you can celebrate McGregor.
Man, oh man, good. Okay, I do what you got to do, man. Y'all, that's y'all boy, man. Get LeBron tweeted. LeBron, what
He
you
said the
doing?
king is back. I just immediately thought,
The best, no doubt, one of the best to ever do it in the octagon. Ain't nobody gonna doubt that.
And when you're talking powder coating in the Midwest, Gateway Powder Coating.
They're the
Kings are back.
They are right. They are the Conor
They never
McGregor
left.
of the powder coating community.
That's right. GatewayPowderCoat.com. Check out all their capabilities. Fast, durable, and affordable. They got St. Louis covered. They got that beautiful billboard I always see at 55 and Arsenal. You can see all their capabilities all online. GatewayPowderCoat.com. Get your wheels done, furniture, anything metal. If you can paint it, you can powder coat it.
Now, there's a story in our rundown that I think is somebody being spiteful.
Uh-oh.
And
Not in this group.
and I'm going to read the article specifically.
I was trying to figure out what you were doing. I think I might know.
So
now.
there is a good news and a maybe bad news.
I don't know
Chris,
how I
good
feel
news
about
is-
this.
Rihanna is on the market. Maybe. Because she apparently broke up with the heir to the, I think, Toyota
Don't mess with that oil money.
fortune. And now she was allegedly spotted with rapper A$AP Rocky
Is that what his name
over the
is?
weekend. Yeah, A$AP Rocky.
Was he the guy that was in Sweden?
Yes.
Yes, he's the one that President Trump had to bail out.
Okay.
So
I
A$AP
love the
Rocky.
rap.
Yeah, allegedly, I guess there's a split from Hassan Jamil. And the two were photographed laughing together backstage at the 2020 Yams Day benefit concert honoring the member of A$AP Yams in New York City on Friday. They have not commented. I don't expect Rihanna to comment on it
what?
either. I don't expect her to comment on it. She does
The
not
only thing
comment
she
on her
spoke
love
on
life.
was Andrew Bynum. She was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, that's the one where she's like, hold on now. Y'all ain't got to do that.
You like her in
Nevertheless.
that Lakers jersey, don't you?
Yeah, she look, I don't know what they're doing to me right now. Look at her. Damn, woman, why you gotta be so fine? Why you gotta be so fine? Oh, my God. Look at that fineness. Woo! Woo! That's a fine woman. God bless us. Everyone.
What's an ASAP Rocky?
A$AP Rocky's a rapper
What's ASAP thing for?
as soon as possible.
Doesn't he use
I
a
don't-
dollar
I
sign
don't
too?
know. Yeah, he does. I don't know what the dollar sign. I'm not hip. I'm not cool enough.
We really
two-
are using hieroglyphics again, aren't we?
Yeah, we really are. That's basically how we roll. Yeah, I don't expect her to confirm that relationship, which is fine. I'll let my baby girl go out there and do her thing because she's still got a brand to promote. So if she got to be seen with a couple rappers from time to time, that don't bother me because that's not what our relationship can be about. What it's going to be about. Our relationship is about what we have, what we share. So to know that now I have her undivided attention again, it's going to be 2020 is coming up, Travis and Rihanna. The probability now, while high, I think it's going to happen this year, guys.
Well, hi, do you mean you're high?
Yeah.
How high? That movie?
And I got Rihanna. You know I got that good girl. You know I got
What does that mean?
You know I got that.
She could own a corporation that
look good.
rivals Bayer
that
in their
woman-
seed planting.
Man, her hustle.
You ain't
is-
planting any seeds around her, pal.
Her hustle, the truth. Man, her hustle. Like I don't care who you are, you gotta respect that. That girl out here looking
Is
fine.
that a Larry the Cable Guy quote?
You doing whatever you can.
I don't care
baby
who you
girl.
are.
Baby girl, I love what you're doing. Rihanna, can I talk to Rihanna real quick?
She's
bet
not
she is.
streaming. I can see the stream.
Rihanna, what's good? I hope you're having a great new year. I'm sorry about your breakup. It pains my heart. I just want you to know it's about your happiness. And whatever I can do to provide that for you, I will, baby girl. Take care of yourself. Get some sleep. You deserve it, your fine ass.
I hate. Oh man.
Mm-mm-mm. Put it back on the screen. Put it back on the
Sound you're making.
It's troubling, isn't
Hold
it?
on, do it one more time. Let me see.
On MLK,
No, that thing you used to do.
on
used to make out
MLK
with,
Day.
Put it back on. Yeah, we're making out. Yeah, making out.
So when you're making out, do you say you're making out to someone?
Yeah, we're making out, girl.
And then you
That would explain a
sounds
few
like you're eating a
things.
Snickers bar.
Yeah, that's how it. That's been a while, guys. I just,
Is that how you do it?
yeah,
Did you ask for consent?
every time. In fact, I have a piece of paper I bring to the bedroom.
Do you?
Initial here, sign here. All right, let's get this party started.
That's like my rental lease.
Have an official notary in the
Yeah,
closet.
you should.
Got it. Boom. All right.
Okay.
Have a good day, notary.
Would Gardner be your official notary?
He would be. I think that would be I think that's a business we should
Well,
start.
yeah, that
An
would go
official
along with
sex
your-
notary. Just have a guy on a bike, just streaming up and down the streets.
What do you have to do to become a notary?
I don't know. I'm sure you got to swear something
Paperwork.
in. Probably, yeah.
Get a
Probably
stamp.
Send in an
Is
email.
it like becoming as simple as becoming like one of them, preachers or
for a
whatever it might
ceremony.
be?
No, I think other notaries have to jump you in. Like they beat you with
There's an
their stamps. They
initiation?
got their stamps.
You get stamped in.
Yeah, stamped in.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, Chris, also over the weekend, as I mentioned, I did check out Bad Boys Full Life, and I will give my review tomorrow. But it was very successful this weekend. I think second biggest box office for an MLK weekend. It was when I went to the theater. I went during a matinee on a Sunday, and it was nearly packed.
Where'd you
and-
go?
Galleria. I always go to the Galleria. They got cheap $5 movies. You can see I caught Bad
that
Boy.
right?
Yeah, catch $5 for
They
a
did at the
matinee.
Chase too.
Yes, they do. They do as well. And they're delightful. They also sell alcohol. That's awesome. And people were excited for this particular reboot. Now, reboots have had their hits and misses. We saw
This is a continuation. I
this
appreciate
is
this.
yeah, and I think
They
that's
didn't do this with the youngest Wayans brother
Right.
and Michael J. White. Or,
Right.
excuse me, Michael B. Jordan. Michael
Right.
J. White's like 50.
But
But-
it was and I think that's kind of what people were speaking to as success. So if you're going to basically do a follow up to a movie, if you're going to do a third movie, it's important to bring back the original cast, which is very interesting because there is some rumors floating around that National Treasure 3 is in the works.
Now you're going to hijack Gardner's big day.
No, I'm not. This is me sharing this big day because I
There's a
think
tie-in.
I think there
Okay,
is
all
I
right.
think there is a formula, so to speak. Because to your point, you're right, Chris. They did not reboot it. They didn't introduce new characters or the new hot
Okay.
young actors. They kept the formula intact because they had the same people who brought the chemistry the first time. Someone hide the Declaration of Independence. This is from the New York Post.
Oh, there you go.
A third installment of the National Treasure film series is in the works nearly 13 years after the sequel was released, according to new reports. The action flick will presumably see leading man Nicolas Cage go back to his old ways of finding clues, cracking codes, and possibly seeing the country's most important documents as the franchise's protagonist, Ben Gates. But when reached by the Post, Cage's agent couldn't confirm his involvement in the film. Chris Bremer, who penned Bad Boys for Life, very well-written script,
Yeah.
has been tapped to write the script for Disney, while
So there's
fellow
a
Bad Boys
tie-in
alum
here.
Jerry Bruckheimer was picked to produce. Wow, you bringing Jerry Bruckheimer out the okay, JBZ? The first National Treasure film, released in 2004, was met with scathing reviews and scored a 46. Really, people didn't like the original? I enjoyed National Treasure the first time I saw it.
Yeah,
why
but it's critically. I mean, it's like again.
It's not for them. It's not to be critically
I
acclaimed.
can't
It's
believe
not
critics
designed
didn't
that
care
way.
for that.
It's fine.
The cult favorite movie's plot
Yeah.
follows Cage as he searches, of course, for a rumored treasure that he discovers is linked to the historic document.
The
sequel-
Declaration of Independence.
There it is.
Yeah. He stole it, in case people didn't know.
Thank you.
The audience score, though, for the sequel currently at 67%. Cage is no stranger to playing zany characters, of course. Yeah, I think this is happening. This will likely happen, and Nicolas Cage is going to do it. Disney had the money.
Yeah.
Disney will do it. You can't do National Treasure without Nicolas Cage.
We finally get to find out what was on page 47 of the president's book. That's where we left off in National Treasure Book of Secrets. This will also help me produce my one-man show, National Treasure Mound City, that I will put on here in St. Louis. How long are one-man shows? Like an hour long?
Generally,
90 minutes.
90 minutes? Shit. Can I do an hour? I'm going to
We'll
do
look
a
into
one-man
it.
show, National Treasure Mound City, in honor of the National Treasure franchise. Maybe we should put a poll question out later today on which franchise people like more, National Treasure or Bad Boys.
no, we could do that.
You can do that one?
Yeah, we could do that. I think to Cage's agent, to his credit, could not confirm his involvement with the film. Very smart. He knows what time it is. He knows this will be. He knows Disney's got the bread. He
Oh.
knows Disney's going to be able to fork over $10, $15 million to get Nicolas Cage to come. You're not doing National Treasure 3 without Nicolas Cage. He knows this. His agent knows this. You're not going forward with this movie with Chris Pratt. You're not going forward with this movie with freaking Harrison Ford. You're going to do this movie with Nicolas Cage. Shut up.
Yeah.
Get him in. Make
right.
it happen. I will
Harrison
watch
Ford does have a new movie coming out.
With
it.
the
He does. I saw
dog?
that with the
Call
dog.
the
Fake
Wild.
dog?
It looked pretty damn
Did you,
good.
you guys didn't ever read Call of the Wild?
I've heard of it. I've never read it though.
Why does it need to be a fake dog?
I don't know.
It's so CGI.
It's probably because of the ASPCA folks would have been like,
Thanks, Peter.
Wait,
and then,
are you talking about ASAP Rocky again?
no, not
that what you
him.
said? What'd you say?
ASPCA Rocky.
Oh.
That would be such a great white man way. I saw that ASPC Rocky.
AARP Rocky.
I honestly, I think if Disney was smart, they put this on the channel. They'll put that on their Disney Plus.
You trying to keep it away from me?
No, I'm just
What are
saying.
you
I'm
doing
trying
with
to
this
get you.
House of Mouse?
You know
I'm
what I've
trying to
never
get you
done?
to-
You know what I've never seen is a National Treasure movie in the theater. I would like to see one in the theater.
Okay.
Are you blaming Disney for that?
No, I'm blaming myself.
Okay.
But
What if you got your own? What if we?
yes, the answer is yes. I know where you're going.
Okay.
Yes, we can do a private showing.
where you
Remember,
got-
I
where
wanted
you
to
got
do that for
where
my
you got to
40th
smoke?
birthday. Oh, what if? Oh, maybe a celebration for when this next one comes out. Back to back, a double feature. National Treasure Book of Secrets, Moolah. What do you
Hit
think?
them up. Have a
Let's make it
birthday. Let's
happen.
have a birthday party.
Chris-
Tom Brown says, "I'm gonna steal the charter of the city of St. Louis."
Yes. Okay. I was trying to figure out what I was going to steal.
There's a special quote in here that really brings maritime law into play for the city of St. Louis.
We could have maritime law involved because of the river.
Great.
You know what? It would be great. A sunken ship on the river. Wouldn't that be such a great tie-in for National Treasure Mound
With
City?
space dust on it, with closer review.
Mhm. Okay, there are many options.
These rocks are only on the moon.
Well, I don't know if that. I mean, that's.
I'm
gonna
just
be-
saying things, and I'm hoping.
Yeah,
that
I
you
know.
Pick up on them. So okay.
Shout out to Chris Bremer. Yeah, the movie did so well over the weekend that Sony immediately announced that
The fourth one?
that they're going to do a fourth Bad
Yeah.
Boys, and it won't be a 17-year gap. And considering again how fans have responded, and
Dude, Martin Lawrence. I
That-
need to see it. It's Martin Lawrence is so funny.
Martin Lawrence is a treat. Martin Lawrence has always been a great talent, and for Martin Lawrence, it's never been an issue of what he does on the screen. It's always been again kind of like the Conor McGregor thing. What are these guys doing when they're not doing what they do the best? And that's the only thing with Martin. But when Martin's in front of a camera, he's really damn good. And when he's got a good script, which Chris Bremer wrote, congratulations to him, because for you to parlay this into a sequel and to now National Treasure 3, it's good money. Look, it was I can't wait to talk about it tomorrow. But if this kid's got the magic touch, I think you're going to really enjoy National Treasure 3, because it seems like he understands how sequels are supposed to work. Like sequels to me, you gotta add to the not only add to the story, but add to the depth of the characters. Like you can't just roll out the same old formula of the characters doing, like, add a little bit more depth to the plot, and they did that in Bad Boys. And I think if
Well,
given that-
because you already have a baseline for what they are
yes,
from the first one.
yes,
You don't
Yes.
need to re-explore
Yes,
that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Or like you're saying, it's not re-explore. I should say. What you're saying is you just add to that. You don't revisit.
And
the
then
same
go
thing.
with what you also work from a position of strength. Look, you have a 50-year-old Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Play that into the script. Play that into the storyline. Like, that's something that people, I think, related to. Here are guys who used to be the shit, and now they're older, and now they're trying to keep up.
Or as the bus driver I referenced earlier, when I was telling that one story, she referred to one guy on the bus as an old head
Old head. Hey, old head. What's going on, old head?
because he was getting off the bus, and she said, "You an old head, you know to keep your mouth shut."
Yo, old head. Old heads know better.
Mm-hmm.
It was, yeah, man, National Treasure. That'd be good. Now, so the TCA, the Television Critics Association, they've been meeting all last week. Chris.
Look at you trying to be like so fucking cool.
Part-
The DOJ.
but that's what the case of the
TCA.
So we heard about, we know a lot of big television news came
Let
out
me
last
use the
week.
abbreviation and then explain it to you dummies.
And so, so the Television Critics Association, we learned about some brand new TV
TCA.
shows, some final seasons. We know Better Call Saul is going to have one more season after the current one that airs
I'm
this
so
year.
behind on that.
a
So
brilliant
they're being smart with that too.
There, you got
They're
two.
gonna-
Yeah, they're going to stop it. It
All
looks
right.
like season 6
No,
is where they're
just
going to
enough
cut
for
it.
syndication. All right, so
Yeah.
no bullshit where they
No, where
they're,
they
like,
just
drawing out
drag
10
it on.
minutes.
No. He's got a story to tell. Vince Gilligan's one of those guys that's very disciplined in that storytelling. They're like, I'm going to tell you a story. You got 5 seasons, then we're done. But we're hearing more and more really cool things come out of the TCA over the last 2 weeks, and that is that Will Forte's MacGruber will now be coming to TV as a series. It's finally found a home. This is from Vulture. It looks like it's going to jump on the NBC streaming platform Peacock, which launches in April. The series went into development, and Forte is attached as a writer and executive producer, of course. Lauren Michaels is also credited as EP. Here's the log line. This should be interesting. In MacGruber, after rotting in
line.
prison for over a decade,
Log line.
what'd I say?
Log line. Just industry talk.
Oh, I'm just reading what it says on
No,
the-
we're just
okay.
appreciating you
you're
as
an
a human.
international screenwriter.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
go
you.
ahead.
After rotting in prison for a decade, America's ultimate hero and uber patriot MacGruber is finally released. His mission to take down a mysterious villain from his past, Brigadier Commander Enos Queeth.
Oh, who?
Enos Queeth.
Enos Queeth.
Enos.
Queeth. That's even better. With the entire world in the crosshairs, MacGruber, Vicky, and Piper must race against time to defeat the forces of evil, only to find that evil may be lurking within.
Oh, within.
If the MacGruber, if any of you guys seen the MacGruber film?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it, but I love Will Forte, and I'm livid they canceled Last Man on Earth when it was 4 seasons in, and Chris Elliott had shown up. So anything with Will Forte,
Elliott.
I'm in.
Where Chris Elliott showed up, and shit, I really screwed up and didn't watch that show.
The show was
I
funny.
I quoted Chris Elliott from Cabin Boy whenever I lost my virginity.
Chris Elliott was in the show. That is a great twist.
Do you want to just gloss over that?
What did he just say?
Said the day after I lost my virginity, I quoted Chris Elliott from Cabin Boy. I walked onto a balcony at SLU, where my friends lived, and I stood over it with my hands on my hips.
Wait,
and
how
I
old
just
were
go,
you?
32.
21.
This is 3 weeks
I was
ago.
I was late. We talked about this before on the show.
No, it explains a lot.
No, we have talked about this several times. And I
21.
stood out. I think 21. I think.
For all those watching, I am
20.
not married, meaning I'm 35 and still hold on to my Christ-like virginity.
And it was.
Thank you.
Nice.
The line is, "These pipes are clean."
Jesus Christ. That'll do it.
So I did get to do that. Which I'm
He's
very-
like, Chris Elliott's like, couldn't, I was on Letterman like 800 times. Couldn't
really
do
was.
Man Under the Stairs.
Chris
Yeah.
Elliott showed up on last. I feel like I need to apologize to the creators for not following that show enough. Damn it, that's a great ad.
Since we've veered, and I'm gonna get right back to you, but Yale Hollander said, "Here's your STL themed National Treasure 3, dude. Where's my trolley?"
Oh. Well, if you want, you can buy shirts at buyjack.com. A streetcar named Undesired.
Plug.
We were at the
It lives
pageant
on.
for that trivia thing. and I wore my shirt
Mm.
into the loop this weekend, so that was nice.
Travis, sorry, continue.
No, I will say this. I really like the possibilities now with these streaming services because you can. It used to be back in the day, they wouldn't greenlight this on the big networks. NBC wouldn't necessarily greenlight this.
I mean, it would have a much harder time. Yeah.
Right, definitely. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. It would have had a harder time, certainly. But now you can let you can let a show,
Let
an
it build
idea
a
like
cult
this,
following.
let it build a following. If it works, great. If it doesn't, it's on a streaming service. Is anyone really going to miss it? So I feel like this is very cool.
Is
that
it like the minor leagues? It's a farm system?
Yeah, it really is. And
Hey.
to a degree, like and when I say farm system, I'm not saying that whatever content you put on
Well,
the
they
streaming
probably just don't put
service
as many
is
resources
less.
into it.
But I don't know. Like they'll probably put some decent amount of resources into this.
Not like they would a prime time.
Yeah, they
Thursday
maybe
night
not as
show.
much as that, but that's fine. That's okay. Sometimes you don't need to put that much into a show, especially with this type of concept. But I think it's really cool to see guys like Forte re-explore characters and stories that they really like that have a following, and you can put it on the streaming services where it's kind of harmless. It's not gonna, there are not gonna be people who are gonna be like, "What kind of crap is this on my TV? We don't want to watch it, then don't go check it out on the Peacock." But I think this is cool. I hope more of the streaming services do this going forward. Looks like HBO Max and even Disney Plus are doing it. I see they're renewing the Life According to Jeff Goldblum for a second season. That's a fun series. So I like this. I like that the streamers are tapping into what they know audiences are looking for. So well played. I think this should be fun. The MacGruber movie was incredibly funny to me. I think Ryan Felipe was in it, and he
Philippe?
was. Is it Philippe? Well, I always add the A at the end because I think he's Hispanic. He is Hispanic. He mixed. He's white and Hispanic, right? So I can add the Felipe, right?
Oh, sure, why not?
Okay, why the hell not? It's okay then.
You add S's to every word.
That's
so
also
that's
very
fine.
true. That's not bad.
There's one movie I need to check out, apparently.
Okay.
This is pointed out to me by a friend, Joe Roderick, because he knows I like Earthquake, or I'm developing Earthquake, the movie.
You're developing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a movie apparently called, read that, Travis?
Oh, I am. The Velocipaster.
Uh-huh.
After losing his parents, a priest travels to China, where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. At first horrified by this new power, a prostitute convinces him to use it to fight crime. And then just...
So I need to make some time, clear my schedule. I have to watch the Velocipaster here
Well,
very
we're going to
soon.
add that to the TriView as well.
Yeah.
'Cause
That's
we're
Now,
going
is
to-
this on Faithflix or where
this
does
is
this?
a
Where
good
do you? Is
question.
Oh, I
this?
don't know.
Is this more gore and Sharknado, or is this a? Is
Can I
this
see
a-
the poster one more time?
Yeah,
Is this an 800 Club pick?
I don't believe so.
Oh,
So, I love everything about this pic. So it looks like there's a volcano in the far background. There's a very large velociraptor.
I think there's a trailer for this I could maybe find, and we can maybe
Yes, please.
air it tomorrow. I haven't
Yes,
even looked
please.
at it yet.
And then behind it, because like you couldn't, like having the pastor have dinosaur powers wasn't enough. You had to have a prostitute and ninjas added to the narrative as
Yeah.
well.
Jesus helped with the prostitutes, the prosts, as Rust Cole would
See,
call them, and
See now this.
True Detective season 1.
So now this is the part of the
is that a
in-
pros or
I don't know. But this is the part of the industry that I'm very curious about because, like everything, it's very tough to get anything greenlit. But there was somebody who had enough money to hire, I think, professionals.
now were real dinosaurs used in this?
We don't know.
Do you know one of my favorite?
I would venture to
internet
say
moments
no,
of all time.
But that,
is
what?
Steven Spielberg with the dead Triceratops posing and people
People freaking out.
losing it.
Like
How
you big
dare
game,
you.
big game hunters are getting away with it a little bit too much. You guys are going too damn
Now
far.
you're using time
Like,
travel.
oh, now you go back in time to big
Time
game
traveling
hunt.
murderer.
But
Sorry.
no, I'm curious. I really am curious. Like somebody had, I would imagine, $50,000 to $80,000 to blow for the like. Is that not fascinating? Somebody took money, real money, to hire professionals, and wrote a script called Velocipaster. Like, but that's not that's. But the company must their objective must be to make movies they know are horrible. That's the only mission statement for that company who made this film.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
like the guy who did the racist radio movie. The guy, the
Don't tell him, don't tell him.
Taquisha,
Who?
Lakeisha,
Ooh.
Tamisha,
Ooh.
Laquanda.
Oh,
What was it, Chris?
If you combine two of what you've said,
Laquisha.
yeah, I think it's Loquisha.
That's like, but that's not. Like, I feel like you make a movie called Velocipaster just for the reason so guys who have a podcast can talk about Velocipaster.
So they made it for me.
They made it for us.
Well, I'm going to watch it.
And then we are going to
If
watch
they
it.
made it for
They
me.
absolutely made it for
I'd
us.
be rude if I didn't.
They didn't make it for anyone else but us.
Yeah.
We're watching it.
So I better do that. They made it for someone who wants to develop Earthquack.
Well, we'll look into that further. We'll take a quick break. Chris Sim and Travis Sherrill. Chris Gardner's here. So we are live. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. It's Chris Demon, Travis Farrell, and the great Trumpy Bear, along with Chris Gardner. It's the second part of We Are Live. We're live at Midcoast Studios. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't yet. We totally appreciate it, y'all. This hour, we've got a lot to get to. There's tweets. There's information to be shared. All kinds of fun to be had. Travis, you seem to be on some kind of a mood upper this morning.
I'm not.
So,
I think I've kind of figured out the trick to the weekend. You have to do something on Friday night in order for, because if you just take the Friday to do nothing, then you have Saturday, which often bleeds into you running some errands of some sort. So there's half your Saturday gone. Then you're like, damn, I'm tired. I haven't had a chance to rest from the work week, so I'm going to take some hours off. You may go out that night. You probably won't. Sunday rolls around. Well, Sunday's the ultimate. Now I got to get ready for the work week. So I think the best way to actually go after a weekend is doing something on Friday night. I did that. I had a long weekend where I actually got rest. And I didn't sleep in, but I got 8 hours. And so that's all I needed. I went to bed, I think, Friday. I went to bed relatively early, around 11:30 for me. And then I got up around 8 on my own, no alarm clock. But that was enough. My body had recharged, and I was up and at 'em on Saturday. So I'm actually just energized. I have been working on a project for nearly 3 months, and I just completed this past weekend. And so this was the first weekend I had where I wasn't looking at a white screen.
why is it going to be white?
Because, I don't know, they make screens white. I don't know. I didn't make the rules. But I think that's why I feel like I have some more energy. Like I completed a project that I was spending a long time on, and now I'm just like, woohoo! I'm a human being again.
Can you talk about what the project was?
Yeah, it was a project I actually had started with lovely folks at Sesame Street. I had modified it for another studio, and I
It originally started
submitted
as a Sesame Street script, and he's turning it into Cinemax.
exactly what I'm doing.
Cinemax.
Cinemax Theater.
You just go at the end of every scene. You go, and then they do it. Like that's all you had to
And they
do,
do it.
and then they do it.
I couldn't help myself over the weekend at the trivia event. There was a Martin Scorsese question, and for the rest of the night, I was just randomly yelling, "Cinema!"
I do that with my little niece now because I have told her parents that she's going to be a Disney star. She's going to be a Disney actor because she loves to sing and she loves to act. She's only 2. So now we have this thing where she gets, like, she does it what 2-year-olds do, and to tease her and to get her out of being a 2-year-old, I go, oh, you're putting on your fake tears? It's time for you to be an actor. And she'll go, actor! And so she'll stop whining and she'll go into her acting. So yes,
It works.
I'm with you, it works. But no, it was the fun thing about the project was there was a part that I didn't know I needed to do. And I discovered it 24 hours before it was due. So I spent those 24 hours basically awake and not sleeping in order to make sure I complete it. And so now that that's over, I think that's just it's a huge weight off my chest. It's especially going into the new year.
What happens now?
Wait and see, baby. Wait and see.
What
Part
happens?
of the biz.
Like how long do you wait?
You know, it's a good question. I have to look into that. I don't think I have to wait too long. I think it's at the if I understand, I should get a response just in time by opening day.
Cardinals opening.
Cardinals opening day.
Okay.
So I think
When
I
is
should have
that?
so about a couple months.
Oh wow!
So about 2.5 months.
And then what are the possible outcomes?
It being put into development. Opportunity for this studio to actually develop this thing that I have written that I at least developed with the folks at Sesame, and now an opportunity to develop with another studio, and it could actually realistically see the light of day if given the opportunity. So it's something that I enjoyed doing. At the same time, it required me to give up a lot of weekends. And I think I'm just happy to have just be a human again. It just, sometimes you just get so caught up in it. You know it as well as anybody. God, you got, 8, 9 meetings today. Sometimes when you just work so much at one thing, you have blinders on, so you don't know what's going on in your own world. You're like, your social life takes a bit of a hit. Your personal and family life kind of takes a bit of a hit. But you know you have to do these things to take care of business. This isn't all put together, as Chris will be the first to tell you. This isn't put together because of our good looks. It takes people actually going out here, putting in the legwork and doing the homework and the research and putting together ad packets and the whole nine. So when you get time to not do that, it feels good to be a human again.
Good for you. Welcome back to
Yeah,
society.
it feels good. Happy to be here, boys.
Proud of you for that.
We talked briefly about the NFC AFC Championship game as we announced, of course, the Niners and the Chiefs. Of course, us being here in Missouri, if I understand the stat correctly, in the last 10 years, the state of Missouri will have had 4 appearances in the World Series, winning 2. I believe they've won now an NHL, now a Stanley Cup, and now Kansas City with the possibility of winning a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the Bay Area, this is even just as interesting. I believe they've had a team in a final over the last 10 years as well. So they go back to the Giants. You go to the Giants, 49ers. Then, of course, you had the run by the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Giants in there again a few times. And now the 49ers back in the Super Bowl. So the Bay Area and the state of Missouri, they've seen some recent success when it comes to appearing in the championship game. Of course, Kansas City gets their rematch against the city of San Francisco. San Francisco, of course, beating the Kansas City Royals, the Giants, in the World Series. So Kansas City fans will have a little revenge on their mind against the folks from the Bay Area. There's a lot of cool tie-ins, but one tie-in that I'm really excited about is the Josh Hawley, Nancy Pelosi bet that's
What?
probably to come out of this, right?
Oh.
There's a Josh Hawley, Nancy Pelosi opportunity here, right?
Well, probably not Pelosi.
Because she's in the House.
Yeah.
I don't know who the senator would be out of Northern California.
But
But if anything, Josh Hawley, I have a feeling Josh Hawley's going to find a way to put his nose.
Oh, he already. Haven't you seen his tweets? He's been
Oh,
tweeting
has
during
he?
the game and everything.
Oh, really? Dianne Feinstein. Would that be her
You have Feinstein. You have someone else.
on the Senate side
Yeah.
in California that I'm
Yeah.
missing?
Yeah.
Kamala?
Yeah.
Kamala and Hawley? Oh!
That's the one.
That's gonna be great. I hope Chiefs fans put Hawley in his place and just call him out. That's gonna be funny. But no, is he gonna be in Miami? Do we expect the United States Senator from the state of Missouri to be in
I don't
Miami
know.
for
It's
this
a
one?
cosmopolitan city. I don't know if he likes.
There's a
those very
lot
much.
of brown people in Miami. I don't know if Josh Hawley can handle that.
I'll be tweeting at him later today.
That's
so don't
funny.
worry about it.
And we're off.
No, it's interesting. There's a lot of fun things that come out of this situation because now I'm not certain about this, but I feel like Kyle Shanahan and Mike Shanahan are now the first.
Michael Shannon?
Michael Shannon, right? Mike Shanahan have to be the first father-son to both have coached in the Super Bowl.
I mean, that's pretty exclusive company.
Yeah.
So that would make sense.
That's pretty dope that you were a Super Bowl coach and your son goes on to become a Super Bowl
You
coach.
don't remember the great run that James Lombardi had? Old Jimmy Lombardi.
Got a little, Chris got a little
I think you'd believe
making
it.
races in him.
Mm-hmm.
You know this the history of Jim Lombardi? Tell us.
Well, he was an X's and O's guy.
Of course.
His teams played the right way.
Makes sense.
Learned from the best, obviously. Although there was friction. He chose to wear a sock cap instead of instead of a gentleman's hat.
Oh.
Right. So his father and him they clashed, but that's the way it goes, you know.
Now, a fun thing that happened during the celebration for the Chiefs. I see the tweet. I don't know if I told Gardner this off the air because I'm not on Twitter right now. Anything that I come across when I am on it, just to check the news, instead of favoriting it, I just send it to Gardner. Now, did I send you the one about the young lady who was on the flight with Paul Rudd?
No.
Okay, well, there's this young lady who was on, I believe she is a verified member on the Twitter. I believe she's a journalist. Excuse me. And she was heading to Kansas City to cover the Chiefs game, and on her flight was actor Paul Rudd. And of course, for those who have seen the Hot Ones, Paul Rudd's episode, hilarious as you would expect. And Paul Rudd has this famous meme moment where he goes, "Hey, who would have thought we would have been here? Not I." And it's a very funny Paul Rudd moment. And she was on the flight with them, saw him, just kindly introduced herself, and told him, "Hey, also, question. I was going to do the little meme thing from the Hot Ones, but I decided not to do it just to let you know." And Paul Rudd, being the great Paul Rudd, goes, "Thank you. I appreciate that." She has a very brief conversation with them. They talk a little Chiefs football. She goes back to her seat. Again, she's covering the Chiefs game. So after the Chiefs won, she goes into the locker room. Lo and behold, who's there as well? Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd, naturally surprised. And he goes, "Hey, who would have thunk? Who'd have thought? Not I." And it was so cool. It was such a kismet moment, and it was so neat. And I thought that was so Paul Rudd. I could not be happier. Look, being from St. Louis, going to Mizzou, natural rival between St. Louis and Kansas City. And frankly, I wanted to punch him in the face and throw every time I see him. With that being said, beautiful city, great things to do, lovely landmarks.
Fountains. They got fountains. Right?
Lots of those. Tip of the cap, though.
Paris is our sister city.
Tip
Okay.
of the, right.
All
Tip,
right.
tip of the cap, though,
Both very
to the
romantic.
folks at Kansas City. And it's a tip of the cap mainly because what was cool we saw this past summer here in St. Louis, we saw Patrick Mahomes. We saw Travis Kelce. We saw him down at the Enterprise Center, and they were showing all mad love to the St. Louis Blues. The Blues went to their Twitter handle. They showed love and congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs because those guys supported the St. Louis team during their championship run. So I'm okay with tipping the cap to the Kansas City Chiefs, mainly because 50 years, Chris, very much like the Blues, and you mentioned this last week, very much like the Blues, a city that has been hungry for a Super Bowl. That is a football city. They have always been a football city. Some of the best football fans, even if they are annoying, they show up.
Yeah.
They show up in droves, and they love that city, and they love that team. And so I have to salute them because they are our Missouri city for getting to the Super Bowl. And they deserve 50 years. That's insane. So for the team to be in Super Bowl 1 and now Super Bowl 100, or excuse me, to be in the Super Bowl in the 100 seasons, yeah,
Super
it's
Bowl
really
live,
cool.
remember.
Live, that's right. I thought was pretty cool, so salute to them. And shout out to the 49ers. I think Kyle Shanahan going is pretty neat, and Jimmy GQ, that's going to be fun. He's going to have a great time.
Niners made the Packers look
Yeah,
terrible.
they did. And the Niners just blew past everybody in the postseason.
I-
The Niners had no problem with anything. That's
Pretty
crazy.
crazy.
Great shout out to Kyle Shanahan.
Couple tweets. I saw somebody say, does Aaron Rodgers' family live in Miami or something? Is that why he doesn't want to go to the Super Bowl?
I
That was
saw
really
what
funny.
I saw the best one. I said Nick Bosa really wants that meeting at the White House. As everybody knows, Bosa's a huge Trump supporter. So people are just like, Nick Bosa really wants to visit the White House.
I think you're going to see a really fun Super Bowl, though. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, how can you not
Oh,
love the
God,
guy?
God,
and again,
yes.
I like giving Chiefs fans trouble, but you do have to respect them. But
What a game
I in no
yesterday.
way, shape, or form like or root for the Chiefs whatsoever. But I watched that whole game, and I was like, yeah, that was pretty sweet seeing Mahomes bumbling, rumbling, stumbling into the end zone.
And the Chiefs are a team, again,
Andy Reid's likable.
Andy Reid's incredibly likable. Like, Andy Reid is one of the
Tyreek
most
Hill's likable.
respected,
Oh.
likable. Dude, I would imagine that may come up during press.
A few times.
Yeah.
Oh, I would hope so.
But yeah, outside of that, this team, outside of that, I really do mean outside of that, this is a likable organization. Andy Reid is
for
considered one of the most respected coaches in all the profession. Pat Mahomes is the face of the NFL. Like, the NFL could not have been more blessed than you get a mixed race, super duper quarterback that's good looking, that plays in the Midwest. Like, are you shitting me right now? The NFL is just like, thank you, Lord, from the heavens. Like, if there is ever an entity that needs a quote-unquote facelift, who better than the transition from Tom Brady going out to now Patrick Mahomes stepping in? It's a perfect situation. Then now you got the 49ers and that blue blood back in the Super Bowl. You got a great-looking quarterback in Jimmy GQ. You got a young coach in Shanahan and the pedigree. I think from a narrative standpoint, if you're the NFL, considering all the normal shit they create for themselves, this is the best, one of the better matchups they could have imagined.
Now, you did send me a tweet about players' entrances in a
Oh
way.
man, I love players' entrances, and I think they
This is
all
like
follow a
not just-
formula.
This is like entrances to the stadium.
To the stadium, right?
Yeah.
And so you know the new thing now for players when they come into the stadium, everybody has a look or a thing because they got to support the brand. And this guy on Twitter did a brilliant job of breaking down the types of players that walk in before a game. Cam Newton, the absolutely over-the-top, I don't understand outfit. Marshawn Lynch, the gangster weird. The guy who needs a stylist, we know a few of those, Travis included. The guy who has a stylist, we know though, that'll probably be Odell Beckham. The guy trying to walk beside the star quarterback, we've seen. This guy is smart. The Andrew Luck
Oh, that's
doesn't exist. Damn, that's cold. The Travis Kelce, and yes, Travis Kelce probably has more swag than a white man probably should be allowed to.
Oh,
The guy who thinks he is way too important. That's the Larry Fitzgerald look. The Daniel Jones. And the Eli Manning, weirdly enough, the same. Khaki pants and blue button up. This is my favorite one because this is so true.
Get it? Because I'm wearing a costume. You get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
The Russell Wilson before Sierra is great. The Russell Wilson with Sierra, which is very accurate. This is a great video. This was so well done. Is it? I saw Andrew Hawkins retweet it. That wasn't Andrew Hawkins, was it? Either way, it was really funny.
yeah.
The types of NFL players are arriving the same. This is pretty good. Yeah. I can't believe the Chiefs are in the freaking Super Bowl. That's crazy.
I saw a tweet over the weekend too that made me laugh.
What's that?
It's labeled as when you kiss your side chick and realize your marriage is over because you're on camera.
Oh, I saw this. Chris, did you see this? I jumped on Twitter this weekend because of
Okay,
the
now
championships.
hold on here. It's gonna pop up here. There we go.
He's kissing this girl in the stands. He's like,
Arm around her. Oh, I'm on camera. Arm off. Oh, I think there was an open there. And now it's settling in like, oh, shit. Like you can see his face. Just start to, he knows
He
he's
forgot-
caught.
he
It's
forgot.
right
Do you think
there. It's
do you
right
think he's
there.
caught or he has shame? Like what's
But
going
that's
on?
what I was trying to think about. How does he know the camera's on him?
There could be something
in
in
the
the stadium.
Fuck.
And there he's like, oh shit. And then when he does the head turn is when he knows he's fucked.
Like even she knows. She's just like, well, you gotta talk to your wife. I ain't gotta talk to her. You gotta talk to your girl. I ain't gotta
That's
say
a
nothing
shame,
to
man.
her.
It's a shame for the lady that he's cheating on.
Ain't that a terrible way to get caught? You go into a sporting event, you think you in the clear, 60,000 people. You figure, man, I'm about to check me out at a soccer game with my side chick. Ain't nobody gonna know a damn thing. And then the cameras just happen to find you out of 60,000 people. What a horrible way to get caught.
That's what you get for going to a soccer match.
Good point. I
That's
didn't
what
think
I'm
about
What happens
that.
when you get cheater, man?
I didn't think about that. Well, you guys know it is a special MLK Day. I'm good with the segues, baby. This is what I was made to do, baby. I went to Mizzou J School for 2 semesters. You ain't telling me nothing I don't already know, players.
2 semesters.
2 whole semesters. Fact of the matter is, boys and girls, it is MLK Day. So you know what we got to do. We got to play the Great American Race.
Did we just say we were doing that tomorrow?
Yep.
Oh, we did?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I think I'm done here.
It's your day.
We'll
Boy,
do the Great American
as he-
Race tomorrow.
As he was bragging about his Segway ability.
That must bring it back.
I did see the winter warm up was this weekend for the Cardinals since we were talking football, stick sports. Anything notable of that to come out of it for you
Nope.
guys?
Nothing.
I didn't see anything either.
The Cardinal went it went as what I thought.
Bunch
it
of
was gonna go.
selfies. It's cool.
But
Raised a bunch of money for a good cause.
It's always, and that's great. And Mo's going to be Mo. Mo wasn't going to give you too much. He's not going to sit up here and talk about the details of potentially trying to get a guy like Nolan Arenado. I would have been interested to hear more about. He did talk about Alberts, the Cardinals hitting coach, and his connections to what was been going on with the Major League Baseball scandal. He says Alberts has checked and Mo has checked with Major League Baseball to be very clear that he wasn't connected in any way, shape, or form, but he did leave a window open in that if anything does come about, we're willing to re-explore Albert's tenure with the Cardinals. So I would have loved to have heard more about that from other players. Maybe players spoke out on it, and I just didn't see any quotes online. But I didn't hear anything else from other Major League Baseball players about their the Cardinals players about. Now, the weird thing I saw this weekend that was similar to the Cardinals winter warm-up, I saw the Astros had their fan fest, and it was the most bizarre weekend in Houston I've never seen. I'm expecting the Astros showing up to this fan fest contrite, maybe a couple apologies, maybe something. I would even have been like, we're not even commenting at the moment. But these guys spoke, Chris. Bregman and Altuve. And they gave us shit. Not only did they not give us shit, they weren't even contrite. And if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, please do, because I'm hoping I missed this. There was not one apology. One apology. Am I wrong?
I don't recall one.
So I don't know. And then Lance Berkman's down there, and he's like, oh, this is really a clean organization. This is just, I hope people don't paint a broad brush because this is a really wholesome organization. What are you guys doing? Admit you did it and apologize. Those guys weren't apologetic. Those guys weren't contrite. Jose Altuve is like, oh, don't worry about all that. It's English thought of us. Look, okay, I'm not being mean, but Altuve's English is getting more and more broken as this scandal continues to. He's pulling a little Sammy Sosa here.
Oh, I don't know.
He's pulling a little Sosa.
It does. I mean,
All of a sudden, Altuve, you don't know subject-verb agreement. Okay. Okay, Altuve, I see you.
Bregman looked ridiculous.
Bregman like an ass. He couldn't believe people would even ask him that question. We wouldn't need to do all that.
Well, they're obviously trying to turn it in their favor to where there's a chip on their shoulder as they go through this next season. You may not like that, and rightfully so, but in terms of a mentality for a team, it makes sense, right?
He did point out a reality. We're 2 weeks away from freaking spring training. They don't have a manager. That's crazy in its own self. But I was very
They should
surprised.
hire Carlos Beltran.
That'd be the play. I was very surprised at how tone deaf their fan fest was.
I don't know what you do. I'd say really, I guess you could cancel it, but if this is
No, I say have it, but why not apologize? Why not say to your fans, what we did was wrong? We were caught. We know it. Your coach and general manager, president are gone.
I can tell you why.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Have you seen their PR department?
Yeah. That's a good point. And I would
See
imagine
how they've handled
now,
shit
and I
before?
also would not, and this
They're
is
not very good.
Casas said this, and others have said it as well. I think ultimately what it is the players union. I think it is the players union telling those guys, shh, shut up. We'll handle this. Don't say shit. So I think it has been for at least the Astros. Now the other Major League Baseball players, they're having a field day. But for the Astros specifically, I feel like the players union is telling them, you guys shut up.
Well, Bregman kind of shut up. Altuve didn't, though.
Altuve, he was really like, I think Altuve doesn't understand that he's a villain in this. Am I wrong in that assessment?
Maybe.
I feel like Altuve, you would have thought Altuve, way he was talking, it was like, you know what, we had a setback, but we're going to be on our way. Like, no, bro, you cheated terribly. And I don't know if he recognizes how much, I don't even think a lot of Astros fans are right now rallying around the troops. I could be wrong, but it doesn't feel like that. I think a lot of Astros fans are like, this sucks. What are you going to do? But it doesn't feel like their fan base is like, you know what, guys, man, you guys are just picking on my bros. Leave Altuve and Bregman alone. I think they're just like, bro, this is a bad look. This looks kind of shady. And for those guys to be so tone deaf this weekend, I was surprised, Chris.
I think that it's one of those things where you're not going to get anything that you want out of them whatsoever, and it's strange and it's weird, but it works to some degree. And I don't even know if they're going to have time to get anything else done with this. How far does it go? We've got a link here talking about Jack McDowell busting out Tony La Russa using the system in the White Sox in the 80s, using video cameras. I don't know what they eventually do with all of this because they could go much deeper, especially with the buzzer rumors and all this other stuff. I don't know if they have time to prove it. They have opening day not far away, spring training,
very close.
Still some big-time moves that could be made. I have no clue what's going to happen with this, but it's clear that the Astros have decided a certain course that they've charted. I don't like it, but it's what they're doing.
You mentioned the Jack McDowell thing with Tony La Russa. This was here's the audio of Jack McDowell talking.
Jack
about
McDowell,
this.
former pitcher of the White Sox, played under Tony La Russa.
He did not.
He did not.
No.
This is what he heard when he was with the White Sox.
Yeah, he came in the year
Okay,
after.
excuse me. I apologize.
We had a system in Old Comiskey Park in the late 80s. Gatorade sign out in right center had a light. There was a toggle switch in the manager's office and a camera zoomed in on the catcher. Okay? I'm going to whistle blow this now because I'm getting tired of this crap. There was that. Tony La Russa is the one who put it in. He was also the head, the first team of all the people doing steroids. Yet he's still in the game making $500,000.
Woo!
You know? No one's going to go after that. It's just the stuff's getting old where they target certain guys and let other people off the hook, and like the media doesn't know that this all happened, what's going on. Everybody knows. Everybody who's been around the game knows all this stuff. Why all of a sudden it became a big thing, I have no idea.
All right, those were Jack McDowell's comments.
One of my favorite pitchers growing up as a kid, Black Jack McDowell.
And Tony La Russa, when reached for comment.
I said, oh, shit, he just went, oh, crap, I mean.
That was Tony La Russa's.
Was that a real comment?
No,
I was about to say,
that's
Tony
not.
LaRussa.
Tony La Russa, the keeper of the rules emeritus. Or emeritus.
It's also telling. Also, it's very interesting to watch baseball players turn in on each other and turn in on the game itself. Everyone prides themselves about being keepers, and what happens in the dugout stays in the dugout. But as soon as something breaks like this, now everyone is saying, well, you knew he knew about steroids. Well, you knew he knew about cheating in the camera wells and people spying and everything. And it's just a terrible look for the sport in general. Like, they are eating themselves from the inside. And I'm sorry, Manfred has done next to nothing to combat any of this. Your sport is a laughingstock at the moment. You as a commissioner have to step in. This is bad. I will say, if anything, at least Goodell, at least Silver would have come out with a press conference by now. At least they would have stand in front of the media. Now, Goodell would have gave us bullshit, obviously, and Silver may have been more woke about it. But at the same, I am blown away how Manfred is just like, bro, what are you doing? Your sport is getting ripped on the eve of the season, Chris. We're literally 2 weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting, and Rob Manfred has got his hand up his ass. He needs to go on Dan Patrick, Rich Eisen. Like, this is silly.
I mean, it's a strategy they could be using.
And it has to be this week too. You got the Super Bowl off. If you're going to step in and make your case, now is to do it. You got the attention of the sports world. This will be your week to do it. This is embarrassing. Manfred should be ashamed that he hasn't said anything. This is embarrassing for Major League Baseball. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. This is terrible.
Are you that surprised?
Nah.
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter. In the grand scheme, it doesn't matter. I'm very surprised, though, and we say this all the time, especially with the NFL. Very surprised, very smart, educated people, by all appearances, would be so caught flat-footed by this, especially when it looks like Major League Baseball controlled the flow of how this was going to.
Yeah, once it got out, though, they've been on their heels ever since. That's
what my thing is. If you were going to release the results of your investigation, you should have had a 10-prong media approach.
They were not prepared.
They were not. They just like, oh, yeah, we found this. A couple of guys did that. Suspended them, fine, we're done.
The buzzer stuff came out, and they obviously weren't prepared for that.
They were not.
But it did give me a new idea, or an idea for a new show, CSI Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've had the Twitter investigators really developing some of the theories, and now even conspiracy theories that I think CSI Twitter is our next step with all of this. So at least there's an idea that's come out of it.
That's very true.
Like the John Boys, I believe the Twitter account is, the Yankees fan, that had all the breakdown of the banging of the drums and everything and some of the buzzer
Careful.
stuff.
Your team might be involved too.
We saw what Starbucks.
Don't matter though. All I need to know is what the truth is.
Oh, I don't mean you. I'm saying like all these people coming after it. It's like,
When there's scandal, though, of a major corporation, we saw it with Starbucks, we've seen it with Uber, we've seen it with other bigger companies, that when there's something like this and it bleeds into day 3, day 4 in the news cycle, that the CEO at some point comes out and says, we effed up, or we're doing X, Y, and Z to ensure that this never happens again. We haven't heard shit from Major League Baseball about that, and we're less than 2 weeks away from pitchers and catcher reporting. The fact that no one in baseball has said, this is what the fuck we're doing going into the 2020 year to combat any of this from ever happening again is malpractice. Is nothing short of it. How do you ensure consumers, ticket owners, that going into this year that the integrity of the game won't be in question? And how have you not spoken on that? How do you allow it to go on for as long as it is? We're in what, week?
Maybe they don't care. Do you really care?
I care
Or do you
because
just want to be mad?
no, I don't want to be mad. I am no, I am not. It's not like, obviously it's not end of the world shit. I'm annoyed because you got caught. And you know me, I'm of the thought, just stop. Let's stop. Okay, you boxed in. No need for you to be cute about it. At least I know politicians lie. I know baseball players and athletes of all walks of life have cheated. I'm not naive to that. I'm saying that once in America, we have to get to a point where when your ass is dead to rights, you just own it.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Why?
That's
you're
all. That's
upset.
why I'm upset. I think
Because you're more passionate than you should be.
And
So I'm wondering where it's coming from.
It's just, I just think Major League, but you got caught. Don't be cute about it. It's just, look, we
You just
understand
don't
why
wanna
you
be
did
lied
it.
to, and then once you've cheated, and then once you've cheated, to act like it's not a big deal.
Yes.
So that's what you're.
At least
basically
show me the
upset
respect. Show me at least the
Okay.
respect, because we pay.
about. I just want to know where
Yeah.
your anger and your
and that, as a
frustration
fan,
is
I
coming.
don't look. I think it's still unnecessarily expensive to sometimes go to a baseball game. However, I like going to baseball games, so I'm willing to spend it. So if I'm willing to say, you know what, even though I'm a middle class, student loan debt up to the eyeballs guy, I enjoy good entertainment. I love baseball, grew up on it. I'm happy to spend $40 for a good seat, $20 for nachos, beer, and parking, et cetera, et cetera. So if that's the agreement, if that-
Limeritas?
oh, you know I love my Limeritas. If that's the agreement, if I've agreed to say, all right, baseball, let's do it. You're my entertainment value. And then you do some fuck shit, and then you just go, I don't know what you're talking about, Travis. Anyway, can I have some more of your money, please? I have a problem with that. Hey, man, was you just out there doing some bullshit? Yes or no? You did? All right, cool.
Then don't give him your money now.
That's the thing.
What?
I may not.
Okay.
And that's going to hurt my soul because I love doing that. I love going to Cardinal games.
Well, you don't have to.
I know.
There's other stuff going on.
There is other stuff going on.
You'll be fine.
I will be.
We'd be fine without the Cardinals here.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
We got the
It'd be fine.
park.
Well, that's better than the Cardinals. It makes more money than the Cardinals
Big-
by at least double.
Are there apartments in Forest Park
Well, yeah, that's a real classic design they got going down
for
there.
70 people to live?
Come on now. At least you could have done something significant architecturally if you're going to brag about that. Put it on the skyline.
Chris, big weekend again for the state of Missouri, especially for your homeboy, your neck of the woods, Bradley Pitt. Ever heard of him? He's an actor.
Yeah, he was
Pretty
on
damn
Mark
good one.
Maron's podcast a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
the Mark Maron's guest, specifically Brad Pitt. He won a SAG Award last night, Screen Actors Guild Award, for his performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And he was all the rage last night on Twitter, Chris. I don't know if you saw this, but for the first time in ages, photographed together, and they were very cordial. Was one, Jennifer Aniston,
Oh,
and Brad Pitt. They were very cordial. And Brad Pitt, I don't know what's happened of their relationship, but they
we
apparently they
expected
seem
you to
pretty,
know that.
well, they seem pretty friendly. He's talked very much in high regards to her as a performer, and he was backstage watching Jennifer Aniston. She also won an award for her performance in the TV show that was on Apple, and I'm drawing a blank, morning show. And he was in the backstage watching the television, just admiring him, some Jennifer Aniston. The internet went nuts. This is, you want to talk about it. People were like, man, this is a reboot we would love to see. Brad and Jennifer back together. But Brad was also talking about, though, how he's very happy to have that SAG award because he's looking forward to updating his Tinder profile.
Mm-hmm.
I
Brad
think
Pitt
he'd run into what's her face on Bumble.
and Sharon Stone?
Yeah.
Very possible. I love this new thing Brad Pitt is doing, though. And it may be genuine, but I love this new thing where he is he's the old guy just trying to find love, trying to find happiness. And
You
maybe
think
that's
he'd
where he
find
is in
a
his life.
hopeless place.
I feel like he's at that point where he's just, I don't know. Brad Pitt has opened up a little bit more during this award season about just some of the things he's gone through. He talked about how the drinking got to a point where it was just, yeah, boy. And Bradley Cooper, who had just become sober, had helped him through those times. Bradley Cooper, he credits to Bradley Cooper to getting him sober. So he's kind of been more of a, look, I guess as you get older and you've been in the industry for as long as Brad Pitt has, you become more reflective. And you can kind of see it with his behavior around Jennifer Aniston and his comments. He's more open, like with the media than he has doing things like Marin. Yeah, look at that, man. People was like, hello. And Jennifer Aniston still got the fastball. Jennifer Aniston still got the fastball, boys and girls.
Could modern science still allow them to have a child?
Hmm?
Isn't that what everyone's clamoring for?
I think people just clamoring for the love to work because they're just
No, I think they need a child.
sure. But I think Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt, baby, would be.
Why do they want the love to
unstoppable.
work?
I don't know. It's something about the relationship that people were truly attached to in the late 90s, early 2000s. It just made sense.
Not everyone's on board, though.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Maleficent.
Well, apparently they're back on better terms now as
Well, I mean, some people are like, yeah, she doesn't need him back. He cheated and openly flaunted it.
Very true.
So, like, fuck him.
He also acknowledged that in his acceptance speech. He's like, yeah, I'm getting awarded for being a guy that thinks he's hot, takes his shirt off, and treats his wife poorly. That's a stretch for me as an actor. And people laugh. He was like, well, motherfucker, you're right. But no, I'm not just because he's a Missouri boy, but I'm a big Brad Pitt guy. I think him and Leo are the coolest motherfuckers in the world.
Oh.
They are. They are just cool. Last night, Joaquin Phoenix won for his performance in The Joker, and he talked about a story about how he would go to every freaking audition, and he was like, Joaquin, sorry, you were great, but there's this one guy, and he said there were consecutive auditions he would go on, and it'd always be this one guy, and it was Leo every time. So he showed his love and respect, and then he finished his speech, Joaquin Phoenix did, with, this is also in honor of my favorite actor, Heath Ledger. So that was really cool. Yeah, that was a really cool moment. He gave a shout out to all the nominees in the category. It was really a heartfelt speech. It was complete opposite of his Golden Globe speech as far as how that was just off the wall and weird. This was sincere, and it felt genuine, and he was just talking about his love for the craft, so that was really neat. It was really fun watching the SAG Awards this week. A big weekend, though, for movies like Parasite and 1917. They won the Producer Guild Awards, and Parasite won for Best Ensemble. So it looks like those two movies are going to be kind of the front runners going into Oscar.
Oh, is that how we say it now?
Oscar. So I'm excited for that. I got to see 1917. I got to see it in theaters. I heard it's just and plus World War I. You don't get World War I movies. We don't get
See
those.
War Horse?
I have not.
It's a World War I movie.
Have you seen War Horse, Gardner?
No.
Why is that funny?
It's just the way he dropped it in there.
A War Horse? You haven't seen it?
It's a World War I film.
Seen War Horse?
Have you seen
Like
it?
an old man that just chimes in out of nowhere from the recliner.
Ah! I didn't know you were here.
You ever seen War Horse? What?
Well, what was the movie where he's drawing the bird he sees as the things happen? There's another World War I movie that's pretty
He's
brutal.
drawing a bird?
It ends with him drawing a bird. Spoiler alert, he's shot in the head as he's drawing. He's in one of the foxholes. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Honest to God, we need
It's
another.
a classic film.
We need another Leo Brad Pitt movie. It's just clear.
Just got one.
I know we need another one. I want another one again. Those guys, come on. Are they not they're not the coolest people in Hollywood? If you were to put your list together right now, coolest people on planet Earth. Leo, Brad have to be top 10.
Who's over him?
Coolest people on earth? Maybe The Rock.
Oh, Nick Cage.
And Nick Cage.
Ron Finger says sober celebrities should have to work at Home Depot if they're sober. It's boring.
It also goes to show that
Treat Williams.
oh God. These celebrities go through it. I think we knew it, but they really do go through it. Like Brad Pitt, you can just tell with each new story, each new interview, for whether it's Maron or him accepting awards, it's just a little bit more about it was the drinking, it was being a shitty husband. It's been like you just like little more interview. You got to get a little
Probably
bit more
shows they're
insight to
still
those
people.
guys. Yeah, absolutely. But I think there are times obviously where we're thinking, man, those guys got it
happens to
together.
everyone,
It happens
or-
to everybody.
Not everyone, I should say. but
Most people, a lot of people,
normal
especially
people go through things
in those
like
type
that
of
too.
situations, and you think about pressure, and obviously we say this all the time, they're not digging ditches. They're not police officers, not firefighters, not out here with their lives on the line. But at the same time, these guys, there's a lot of pressure that comes along with their craft and being who they are. And I can't imagine being Brad Pitt
Well, for a number of reasons.
for several reasons. I mean, are we the
No
same
one's
heights?
ever imagined you.
No, there's been a
as-
couple times people like, is that Brad Pitt?
Brad
Kind of
Pitt.
black, got a good tan.
Mhm.
There's been times where people have thought that, but no, for the most part, Brad and I have a lot in common. We both went to Mizzou. We both are international talents.
Mhm.
Both pretty funny. We both have had attractive white women in our lives before.
Mhm.
Do you think so?
We both we talk with a twang sometimes. We're yeah. And we
Yeah.
kind of have a similar life.
I could see that.
Yeah, very close to how we were raised.
Maybe, yeah, you're probably right.
What celebrity do you relate to the most?
Nick Cage.
You and Nick Cage would be best friends.
We do all right.
I think you guys would be good friends.
What's the reason behind that? You both have the quest to steal the Declaration of Independence, or how does this work?
He just likes to put out content.
You're a content guy.
I'm a content guy. He puts it out constantly, doesn't
He
he?
does.
He really does.
He works hard.
If you get a chance to see Nick Cage and Mom and Dad, check it out. It is one of the best. It was a
He's so passionate about working and what he does that he doesn't care if it's good or bad.
what wasn't
And you
he-
aspire to have that level of.
what were you and I watching Nick Cage where he was on the talk show? When
Oh,
he
where he
came
did the
out.
backflip or the
Yes.
flip? It was a British talk show.
Get the footage for tomorrow.
What was that?
I forgot. He was on a talk show and it looked like Nick Cage. Here's the thing with Nick Cage, and maybe this is why
Remind me
Nick
to
Cage
get
stays
some
working.
guy.
Nick Cage is a guy you think is on drugs, but I bet you he's not even touched a drug in years.
He was just filmed hammered, getting married, and he had
Drunk.
to have it.
But I don't think Nick
You don't
Cage is
think
a
he's
drug
mixing up
guy. I think that's Nick Cage. Now, yeah, Nick Cage getting drunk, sure. But I think Nick Cage, the way he behaves, that's Nick Cage. I think he's a very
Yeah, he's
conscious.
already out there.
He's just already out there.
Yeah.
Like I think just the things he's done, I don't think it's what people on drugs would do. He doesn't work that much if he's on drugs. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not hiring an actor
Yeah.
who does that kind of narcotic consistently for work. That's a liability. You're not going to put. That's like putting Tom Sizemore in everything. You're not doing that. Nick Cage doesn't seem like now he may be out there, but I don't think Nick Cage does anything.
We discussed Tom Sizemore having to walk back his comments about Elizabeth Hurley and Clinton, right?
Yeah.
On a podcast.
Uh-huh.
He was like, "Oh wait, yeah, I was just talking." What? It's a pretty random thing to bring up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought about that body count. Like, yeah, never mind. I don't want to get involved with that.
How many they got?
Counting Epstein.
Me and some friends got into that this weekend.
What'd you get into?
I say the body count's 0.
For who?
Clintons.
And they just don't do anything because it's nice to have people think that you have that power.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I mean, that's not the
Why?
worst.
Like you don't need to. You just say nothing.
Like you've never been in a fight, but for some reason everybody thinks you're just an ass beater,
Yeah.
and you're
Don't
like, well,
Don't let them know the
True.
truth.
That's
Yeah.
the truth. That's fair. I mean, to be honest, think about it. I mean, I think that's why people are so fearful of the Clintons. Like, I think that they were probably, Bill Clinton's a smart son of a bitch, and he probably was like, well, obviously it's not true, but it does help with the lore. It does help with the legend. Okay, let it roll.
Might keep me alive.
Might keep me alive. Keep it rolling.
Protect others.
But yeah, me and some friends. Gardner. Shouldn't be a surprise because it's mostly black people, but a lot of black people are on board with my theory.
In particular, the face-off theory.
I haven't introduced the face-off theory yet.
Okay, well then don't say everyone's on board with me, because your theory is he did a face-off. Epstein did a face-off, and he's actually Ellen DeGeneres.
Okay, I mean,
So
that's
to
an
say
issue.
a lot of black people are on board with that, you're misrepresenting your community. I'm pretty sure.
Thank you.
that's a good point.
Now you're basically saying that you've only introduced the front end of this theory of yours, where he's alive. That's what you're saying,
Yes.
not the rest of it yet.
Yeah, I haven't. I would told that
Introduce
part.
the rest and let me know.
Okay,
Then let me know what your community says.
that's fair.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, before we get out of here, I wanted to thank our friends at St. Louis Counseling Services. Check out the website, stlouiscounseling.org, for more information on how you can be helped in the St. Louis area. And always check out Mental Health Matters online through their website. We love that. And we love you for tuning in. We've got comedy shows this week. Happiest Hour at our friend Sophie's. That's here in the Dot Zach building, 3224 Locust. Killer lineup, by the way.
What?
Larry Green, Champ, is going to headline that. And then we've also got a young man by the name of Stephen Briggs, who has too many credits to be doing our show on Thursday. He's coming in from Los Angeles.
I saw Larry over the weekend.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, he did Casually Molly podcast with Molly Ambergy. Shout out to Molly.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Larry's a talented guy. Matt Barnes, Casey Paulson, going to be a great show. And then another great show at a Gastro Pit, and you can stick around for the late night barbecue. You know how that works. Anything else we got
Shout
going
out
on?
to anybody? I would want to give a
MLK.
shout out.
I beat you to it.
Yeah, and on that note, one of my favorite quotes from MLK, our needlesome task in life is to discover how to organize our strength into compelling power. And I would like to give a shout out to the folks, and because I want to be, I got to be fair, because I sometimes go after, not say the churches, but I always expect churches, especially in our local area, to do a little bit more. And I saw a story where it looks like they're doing just that. The United Church of Christ Congregations and Deaconess Foundation on Saturday announced that they paid pennies on the dollar for $12.9 million in medical debt that they are giving away. And this is where this is what I mean about communities who have this influence and this ability, being able to truly impact the people that are around them. And that's what we should be doing as a society in order to improve. It's very easy.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yes, sir, I promise I won't. But essentially, I've said this before. I know it's very easy for a lot of people to sit back and point fingers and say, this is wrong with St. Louis and this should be done in St. Louis. But not a lot of people are often willing to step up to put their money where their mouth is. So I'd like to salute people who actually do, no matter whether or not I agree with sometimes their points of view, as long as you're out here trying to help people who need it the most. And this is a way to go about and doing it. And I think that's what Dr. King stood for. When you see someone less than you, someone that doesn't have as much as you, someone that's being oppressed, you should be the voice in the room to say enough's enough, especially if you have the means. And this is something that I hope people, not only a message that you carry on just because it's MLK Day, but throughout your life, but especially today. Take some time to reflect and remember that there are people out there that are less than you. There are a lot of people out there suffering. There are a lot of people who you may not realize it because of the color of their skin that are struggling to make it by. So just keep that in mind before everyone goes on their soapbox. And again, be willing to put your money where your mouth is and get into your community and help those who need it most. So that's who my shout out goes out to today.
My shout out goes out to pet owners,
Why is that?
because they walk their pets. And even if they own birds, sometimes they walk their pets.
Jesus
We haven't
Christ.
watched this? Oh, I saw it. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good.
I want to shout out to this guy for getting his birds out of the house and walking them. Not only walking them, but sprinting down the street.
That's just
You can have your nice message, Travis. You can have your nice message, Chris. I want to shout out this guy.
here's what I love about this, and this is where the internet comes in, because we would not know this is real life if it wasn't for the internet. If someone told you, Chris, man, I just saw a dude running down the street with parrots. He was
On a leash.
On a leash.
I'd
You'd
be
be like,
okay, pal.
put down the drugs, and then you see it and you go, oh.
But he needs to do this for his pets. He needs to get them out. He needs to let them fly. And this is how he does it. That's a committed pet owner.
This guy rules, and he's even got the in case they want to jump on his arms, the
I love
protective
it.
gear.
This is just great. I love this. I don't know why this makes me so happy, but it does. Because you're right. It just makes me happy. Because he feels happy, and I would imagine those birds mean the world to him for whatever reason. I'm just in a world of horror, Chris. I think that's absolutely beautiful.
I appreciate that he wore neon socks to be more reflective.
Yeah.
so people
I
can see.
saw a
it.
He's
guy
thought
this
this
morning.
through.
He thought it all the way through.
I was on
Because he's done it before.
I was on a dark highway this morning and saw a guy whose car was having issues. He was in a damn camo jacket in the dark with no flashers or nothing. I was like, you are begging to get ran over. So that guy's the opposite.
Well, you mentioned that, the camo jacket. Let me do one more shout out. Shout out to the Space Force's new uniforms,
Oh, boy.
which have been getting panned online for using,
Pentagon account got in their feelings.
because they've been using,
Why would they have camo in space? They're not going to. They're in space right now. They wouldn't have to do camo. We get it, Pentagon. We're having jokes. We're having fun with this. Relax.
so they have the camo. And people,
They did miss an opportunity to come up with some
Shouldn't they have
sweet
been?
black uniforms. They
Shouldn't
really
it? I
did
mean-
screwed up. They screwed that up. You could have had some really sweet ass black military style uniforms.
With stars as the
Oh
camo?
my God, they
Yeah.
screwed it up. They had
that's
an
what people are
opportunity.
saying. I would have done a
But,
black hole.
If I don't care who wins the Democratic nominations, but I hope on day 1 or at least day 5, they absolutely obliterate Space Force. Please close it down immediately.
I
if-
think whoever, here's what the Democrats should be doing right now. They should have a person who's employed by the party itself right now that should be going through stuff Trump has done.
Yes.
And whoever wins the nomination, this person automatically goes to them.
Right.
What this person's job is to do like Trump had done to Obama.
Yes.
And is to undo
Yes.
all the things. So whoever that person is, they're going through the list
Right.
and they're strategizing how to go about from day one
Uh-huh.
to reset certain things and to get rid of certain things. And that person, like I said, it doesn't matter. They go to whoever wins the nomination.
Right.
But that's what he works for the party.
Yes.
And then he starts, here's the strategy.
Here's the list.
Here's how we get rid of this. And we just go in right away and, start knocking
and
it
I
down.
say go even a step further. I say maybe if not even close down Space Force, but turn it into climate change force. And so now they can, like the military will go out
Convert
and
it.
combat basically those who are out there ruining the environment. That's now our thing.
Oh, I thought you were going to have like or tornado fighters or something.
And then I said they should turn like the wall.
Hurricane hunter.
They should turn the wall like into like they should put solar panels along the wall so they can
yeah.
then
Turn it into
fuel
something.
the cities that are surrounded by the wall. So I say you should do it, but put your leftist spin on it. So keep Space Force, but put the climate change and keep the wall, but again, put solar panels
I
on
would put
top.
a wall of windmills.
Perfect. Beautiful. Yes, that is a great comment. Yes, absolutely. A wall of, wind farm, just right along the border. Brilliant. I mean, if they can climb
Say they need somebody that's going to come in just because you want to see the complete meltdown. That I'll do it, okay?
Gardner has volunteered himself.
Put me in a room and let me thaw shower with some people.
Dr. King, my favorite King. I love Don King. Evelyn Champagne King.
Any other kids?
But Kings of Comedy, I love them. They're good people. Steve Harvey, he came up to the Trump Tower.
Isn't it Marquette King? Is he the
Marquette King, he's a good punter. He's
for the,
black.
for the Battlehawks?
Look at my little African American.
Aha!
Look at my African American punter over there. Dr. King, if he was alive, he would say, "I'm the greatest non-racist ever to be not racist."
Cancer rates are down.
By the way, shout out to the Battlehawks. Saw the commercial over the weekend.
Bunch of commercials on
Yeah,
Fox.
they
XFL.
rolling it out, baby.
Feels real.
There we go. Soft season's almost here, Chris. Battlehawks.
Feels real.
So insincere.
Feels real now. It's real now.
To all of our amazing sponsors, to Gardner, to Chris, job well done. I'm Travis Terrell. To Trumpy Bear. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Peace.